In Nigeria, finding an address can sometimes feel like solving a puzzle, right? Turn at the transformer, pass 2 streets, then ask for Alhaji's house. But that could soon change. Did you know that the federal government is introducing a national digital address system where every building will have a unique address linked to the occupant's national identification number? Well, for decades, that's how many Nigerians have found their way around. We rely on landmarks instead of standardized addresses, making it difficult for emergency responders, delivery companies, security agencies, and even government officials to locate homes quickly. According to the National Population Commission, Nigeria has a population of over 230 million people, yet millions of homes still lack standardized addresses. This has contributed to delays in emergency response, difficulties in planning public services, and challenges in conducting an accurate census. And that's why the government is introducing a national digital address system where every building will have a unique address linked to its occupant's national identification number. The goal is to improve public service delivery, strengthen security, make deliveries easier, and help emergency services locate people faster. But success won't come from assigning house numbers alone. The system will require accurate data, public cooperation, proper implementation, and strong protection of citizens' personal information. So, as Nigerian begins this new chapter, the real question isn't just whether your house will get a number, but it's whether this system will finally end the era of the third street after the mosque and give every Nigerian an address that truly works.
Morning, Nigeria. Another brand new day is here. And of course, all of us at S24 Television Morning Digest, we are here to bring you the stories you need to know, the conversations you want to hear, and the issues that matter to you. Welcome to S24 Morning Digest, your trusted breakfast companion, bringing you closer to the news and the people behind the headlines. I am Gloria Atta, your host for today. So, whether you're getting ready for work, heading to school, stuck in traffic, or simply starting your day with that first cup of tea or coffee or akara, don't worry, stay with us because we've got everything coming your way. Of course, we want to apologize for starting behind schedule, but we promise to make your morning the most. A newspaper review comes up after the break. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. It's now time to dissect major stories making the front pages today, covering, of course, security, politics, governance, business, international affairs. And I will not be doing this alone. My colleague Abubakar Turaki is here to do this with me. Good morning, Abubakar.
Good morning.
It's always a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for giving the opportunity to speak to Nigerians.
The opportunity, yes, it's always a pleasure to have you here. So let's quickly dive in. And today we are starting with politics, and we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper, where the front page says, Tinubu, Obi, others sign peace pact as 2027 elections campaigns begins today. The presidential candidates have signed the first national peace accord ahead of the 2027 elections, committing to issue-based campaigns and rejecting violence, hate speech, and all forms of misinformation. So, Abubakar, I'd just like to hear your thoughts on this development.
Well, it's a good one. And I so much believe that this peace accord does not come just in a broad daylight,
Yeah.
because the peace accord started, that was 2014, when they started coming up with such signing of peace accord. And ever this peace accord is being signed among the candidates, we normally used to see a kind of like a minimal outbreak of violence. But you know, sometimes Nigerians politicians are too ambitious to the extent that if they think that they are going to lose the election, they may likely find a way of manipulating the election in their own process. And yesterday we saw the AA presidential flag bearer, which is Sowore, and we also saw Peter Obi was in attendance and many more. But what happened to the likes of Atiku Abubakar? We are yet to hear from him. Why is he not there? And I did not see any strong representation, because the president was also there. The president was represented by George Akumi, the secretary to the government of the
Yes.
federation. And this peace accord, part of the people that signed those peace accords cut across members of the National House of Assembly, and even State House of Assembly that want to represent their people. And it's a very, very good one. And I so much believe that with the way they included most of the religious scholars, because if you see there, the likes of Matthew Hassan Kuka is there in attendance, and also see INEC also in attendance, and even the IGP of police, Olatunji Disu, was represented by DSP, I think Assistant Inspector General of Police Umar Shehu. So these are some positive, good results that I believe at the end of the 2027 general election, which is January, the presidential election is going to take place, and also February, the governorship election is going to take place. So this is what I really understand about this peace accord. But I have a lot of observation regarding to peace accord, because I saw Sowore making statements that what happened to the previous peace accord that was signed.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
actually where my next question was leading to.
yeah. Yeah, you know, recently we saw some off-cycle elections in places like Ikiti and in places like Anambra, and also recently we saw an off-cycle election in state like Osun State, and there have been a report from international organization and even local organization, precisely Yaga Africa. They have recorded almost 37 and 35 deaths. That was prior to the election. And also during the election, I saw some report which I'm yet to verify. They even stated that almost 70 people lost their life. And we even saw recently Daily Trust reported that a member of the APC even lost one of his own son. So what happened to the peace accord signed by by Adeleke, Oyembanji, and Taslim of the ADC? What happened? So that means maybe this peace accord is not really yielding positive result, and it is high time for us.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, still talking about the peace accord, of course. This is not the first time, you've rightly said, that politicians will come together and, you know, say they want peace during the election. But as the months progress, we end up seeing something different. So now, what makes you think that this time around they will commit to it, knowing that politics in Nigeria is often driven by personal interests and sentiments rather than, you know, the broader interest of the people?
You know, you cannot always blame them, because the system has made us felt like politics is a business, which is not supposed to be like that. Because for as long as we continue to see politics as a means to an end,
Yeah.
we will find this peace accord not relevant to us. Because these are the people, this is an accord. It's more or less like you are trying to sway that you are going to abide by the ethics, rules, regulations, and conduct of the election. But what is going to happen at the end? Your supporters may likely went out and victimized people.
Yeah.
And also you yourself, if the election did not even favor you, you may likely organize some bunch of useless youth in order to go and give the election in your own favor. That is why up to this material time, I have to acknowledge the fact a statement made by the President Muhammadu Buhari led. When you snatch the ballot paper, you are snatching it at the detriment of your life. That was 2023 election.
So now, what should now be the consequences for political parties and political candidates as well that fail to abide by this peace accord, this pact that they've signed?
Yeah, before going to the consequences, I think there are significant regarding to this peace accord, because it's going to increase the acceptance and recognizability of the election.
Yeah.
Because you have already appended and signed, duly sign that you felt that whatever the outcome of the election, you are going to hold and also accept the election, even if the election did not favor you. And also, it's going to increase a local based politics
Yeah.
in the sense that many people will have the ability to go out and conduct most of their own political permutation. And today is August 19, which is the
Yes.
official declaration of political campaign according to INEC. So whatever you see today, it is legally accepted. From now today to 2027 January, before the election in February, you will see a lot of political shenanigans. It is now that you will see politicians coming out giving a teaspoon of sugar for Nigerians in order to vote for them. We recently saw what happened in Osun when they were given at least one measure of rice, calling them they should vote Ambo. Whosoever does not vote Ambo, his children and generation will not see success. But God Almighty Allah is not sleeping. And we
Yeah.
even saw how Governor Adeleke has been attributing his success. He even started singing, "My God, no they sleep, oh, my God, no they sleep, oh." So from now, you will see a lot of shenanigans from politicians, and whatever politicians are going to do now, they are legitimately back. But I want to call them that they should do a ideological best campaign, not a campaign that they will just come and bring misinformation, disinformation, personal attack, and hate speech.
Yes, and my next question is actually leading to the issue of misinformation, which has become as almost as terrible as violence and insecurity on its own. Now, with the emergence of AI, of course, and all the deep fakes we have, it's very easy for politicians to say it was AI. We saw it even during the Oshu election, where Father Onsi came out to say the videos that were making rounds were AI generated in the first place. So now, how much of misinformation and artificial intelligence, how much can it pose a threat to credibility all through the campaign season and, of course, during the election?
Yeah, is a big challenge to INEC,
Yes.
and also it's a big challenge to us Nigerians, and it's also an advantage to us because no matter how you are trying to fabricate or forge any duly registered and legitimately recognized government agency, they will find a way of distinguishing their own legitimate posts and illegitimate posts.
Yeah.
Even remember the scandal of Adeyemi when he was able to forge an appointment later. The presidency came out and they were able to identify some logos,
Yes.
some seal, and some certain things within the appointment letter of Adeyemi which clearly distinguish between the fake one and the forged one.
Yeah.
So I believe no matter how AI is going to at least play a vital role in 2027, there are credible websites that you go there and find a credible and legitimate information there. The likes of CCD, Center for Democracy and Development, the likes of Yaga Africa,
Yes.
the likes of a lot of fact-checking
Yes,
website
yes, and
there.
see-
And even so, even you can even go to the INEC portal. That is the legitimate one. I know that they have a qualified cybersecurity expert that they will do everything possible in order to protect that. But the problem is those people, because this 21st century, most of us are having it difficult to distinguish between fact and lies. Especially maybe if you just come across a post in Facebook, you may likely feel okay. Well, I see it in Facebook. Well, Facebook, there are certain parameters that you may not be able to at least consider what you see information on Facebook legitimate. For example, I think seeing information in X is more legitimate than Facebook.
But even all social media platforms now,
But like the
we have
legitimacy of posts that came out from X are more legitimate than Facebook. With due respect to the Facebook users, I also use Facebook, but you cannot downplay the effort made by X because they used to filter most of their word. I don't say that there is no presence of misinformation and disinformation there. And also at this point, INEC should do everything possible because I saw that they are going to recruit almost 11,000 ad hoc staff ahead of 2027 general elections. They should make sure that when recruiting those ad hoc staff, they have to put a kind of like sensitive understanding, and also they have to be neutral in deploying those people. I saw one weakness from INEC official that was in the recently Osun concluded general election because I saw a result, the result sheet, it has a lot of cancellation. and it sounds very, very ambiguous.
Yeah.
You will see polling unit 001, they will just strike it and write polling unit 002. Why is the credibility there? So this is actually something like INEC should do everything possible. And also we are also calling on INEC because every after election, INEC will just come up with electoral act. Is it not the right time for us at least maybe to call for a constitutional overlook so that INEC can have a kind of like a 10-year development plan in their own agency, in their own commission? Because they have everything there. Researches are out there, solutions are out there. Even if you go back to book by Olusegun Adeyemi, Power, Politics and Death, because I still at least acknowledge the 2007 election that brought Umaru Musa Yar'Adua into election. When Umaru Musa Yar'Adua came into power, he acknowledged the fact that the election that brought me into power, there are a lot of irregularities, which he promised that he is going to at least correct the old irregularities. A commission was set, which was chaired by Justice Uwais Mohammed. And after Justice Uwais came back, he came up with some recommendations, a lot of recommendations.
Now, because of time, I want us to move to the next topic. But before we
I also
leave,
want to
there
speak
is-
on the
there is something-
consequences. Okay.
Okay, so now with you rightly said that some politicians were absent who are
Yeah.
competing during the elections. The likes of Atiku Abubakar and Sheyi Makinde,
Yeah,
they
Sheyi
were
Makinde
absent
of
during the
APM.
signing of the peace
Peace
accord.
Accord.
So now, do you think this weakens the significance of that accord that was signed yesterday? And also, with as the campaigns have begun today, what should Nigerians be looking forward to? What should they fix their gaze on? Should it be on what the politicians are saying, or should it be on people that are actually offering solutions to the problems Nigeria is facing?
The absence of Makinde and Atiku, those are friends. Because Atiku was in the PDP before he came to the opposition
ADC,
party.
yes.
And Sheyi Makinde was in the PDP governor for almost 7 years before he came to APL. So they are just friends, and it's going to weaken the acceptability of the peace accord. And even I saw the likes of Hakim Baba Ahmed of the PRP. He was there. So I don't know why they were not there, and there's no any a statement from them or any representation. We have not seen any representation. So does that mean Atiku Abubakar does not have faith in the peace accord? Well, this is the question. Maybe like his own spokesman will respond to us. And also Sheyi Makinde, does that mean you too, Sheyi Makinde, you don't have the acceptability in the peace accord? You see, when it comes to national interest, I think we have to put it at the back of our mind. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Nigeria does not belong to anybody from the south or the northern part of the country. The cosmopolitan nature of Nigeria, it was created by God Almighty Allah, that He has created us differently for us to understand each other. And our own different ethnic group in this country is a blessing to us. Because now if you say that maybe you're going to go against the government policy, a Hausa man that are enjoying the government may likely not compromise and may likely not agree to you. Or an Igbo man that is very, very close to the government, they are benefiting, they may likely not answer your own call. Or a Yoruba man, which are being considered as one of the best people in the country, they may likely not even listen to you. I say the reason most of the Yoruba people are being considered as best in this country, because if you look at most of the intellectuals, the rate of professors, I think Yoruba people are among the best people there. Or if you go, if I could remember what is it, Malang Aminu Kano, he described Nigeria into three things. When it comes to leadership and politics, the Hausa people are there. Because if you look at the history of this country for the past 66 years of independence, the Hausa people have been ruling this country. When I say Hausa, I mean the northern part of the country. If you look at the rate of technocrats, bureaucrats, and also those that are in the academics and have knowledge upstairs, I think Yoruba people are there. And when you look at the people that are more industrious in nature, entrepreneurs in nature, I think the Igbo people are out there. They are making a lot of things. And even if you go to a state and you will not be able to find any Igbo man, I think this state is not meant for you, because there is no presence of business. And part of the consequences that I want people to understand, that any person that signed that peace accord and later on he failed to at least stick to the tenet of the peace accord, I have some recommendation here, because there is a presence of INEC there.
In 2 seconds.
Okay, they should ban that political party, sanction that political party for almost 50 years. You will not see the political party in that ballot. Financial dues. If you break it, I think maybe you have to pay a fine of almost 33 billion naira so that we can have enough money
to do other things.
To do that thing. And also they should disqualify the candidate.
All right, Abubakar,
disqualification.
I will put a pause to you right now. So we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, the newspaper review continues. Stay with us.
Hi, Shikiri.
Okay, so what is working with me like?
I'll say he's easygoing because like you're someone who is teachable. So anyone that is teachable would love everybody would love working with that person. Okay, my turn. So Shiki, tell me why do you like working with me?
You made a point that I'm teachable. Like you were like the first person that took to mentoring me. You took to mentoring me, and you take a lot. You take a lot of questions. You entertain a lot of questions. You don't get tired.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hello, Gladys.
Hi,
How
Sebika.
are you doing today?
I'm good.
I just get to know, what does working with me feels like?
I would say you do things exceptionally well. You set your mind to things and you make sure it comes out well. You put your mind. And one thing I love about you is that you make sure whatever you're doing, you are giving your best. You're making sure that thing goes well.
Oh, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how do you feel working with me?
Gladys, working with you is actually interesting. Like you're the
Okay.
kind of person that brings life to whatsoever you do.
Wow.
You make sure that you always ensure that everybody everybody have fun while you
Yeah.
work. Your space is not boring and it's not toxic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, Auntie.
Hello, Abakar.
How are you?
I'm fine. Obviously, I'm fine.
So, what can you say about working with me?
Well, working with you is actually very educational because at every point you like to teach, you like to make impact. And I like that mostly about you.
Thank you so much.
How is it like working with me?
Well, I so much cherish you being in the company of elderly people. I believe with your age and with our youthful exuberance, we are going to push S24 forward.
Thank you very much.
Yes, hello.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, this is S24 Morning Digest, and it is our newspaper review. I've been having a very insightful conversation with my colleague, Abubakar Turaki. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you.
And before we went on that break, the race to the 2027 election has been dominating the conversations, and we're talking about the recent peace accord that was signed by political candidates vying for seats in the presidency come 2027. But now we are going to be taking another swipe. We're still going to be looking at the Punch newspaper, but our next story will be talking about former President Goodluck Jonathan, and he says off-cycle polls, Jonathan decries governor's show of force. Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, has criticized the heavy presence of governors and political leaders during off-cycle elections, while other stakeholders are calling for reforms to election security. The concerns follow the recent Osun governorship election, where more than 15,000 police personnel were deployed. So Abubakar, what exactly is the danger of governors and powerful politicians or people of influence getting involved in the electoral process, as we often see in Nigeria?
It will trigger Nigerians, and Nigerians will lose faith in the credibility of the election.
Yeah.
Because we are in a democratic dispensation, and the presence of military personnel in a democratic dispensation is a reflection of dictatorship, and dictatorship globally is not even recognized. If you remember the last military head of state that we had before the coming of before the return of democracy,
Yeah.
that was Abacha, then Abdusalami Abubakar. When Abacha was the head of state in this country, a lot of international states disconnected with Nigeria. So this is to tell you dictatorship is not even recognized globally. And secondly, we recently saw what happened in Osun State. 15,000 armed personnel were deployed in Osun State to do what? While these people were being expected to go into the bushes, to go into the forest and fight the problem of insurgency, to rescue our own citizens that are
Yes.
out there not for excursion, rather they are under the custody of criminals and bandits. And they are there deploying 15,000 there to do what? Is that not a threat to our own democratic dispensation?
Yes, because these elections, the presence of this personnel, it makes me wonder every time I see the thousands that are deployed during elections, that are these people actually here to ensure the election is peaceful and credible, or they are here to incite voter intimidation and fear in the hearts of the people?
It's two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And at this point, I want to make it clear, Jonathan will remain one of the best Nigerian presidents since the return of democracy in 1999.
Yeah.
Jonathan was among the first people that conceded defeat while they were in office. Jonathan has the right to at least not to accept defeat when Buhari defeated him in 2015.
Yeah.
But in one of his publications, he said that his political ambition does not want the blood of any Nigerian, even though there are some underground reports that there has been an influence of the Western world, especially America, because
Yeah.
he has started not to listen to what they have been saying to him. And also, remember what Olusegun Adeyemi in his book, I think, Against the Run of Play, he made it clear that if Jonathan wanted to continue ruling beyond 2025, Jonathan could have done that.
Yeah.
Because when Professor Atahiru Jega was the chair of INEC, they were collecting the result at the International Conference Center before it was renamed to Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. A group of young people from Bayelsa met Jonathan, asking Jonathan that, Oga, it's high time for us to destabilize this collation center. Jonathan stood firmly and said he made the statement, he reiterated that his political ambition does not worth the life of any Nigerian.
Jonathan, a very powerful statement.
A powerful statement. And as an elder statesman, are you not wondering that up to this material time, ever since Jonathan left office, up to now he has been going on as peacekeeping ambassador?
Yeah.
We saw when Jonathan, the military intervention that happened in Gambia, Jonathan was there. They were able to at least bring him back. They brought him back to Nigeria. He has been going out for a diplomatic ties and diplomatic. And he has to be worried as a true Democrat. Why are you deploying 15,000 armed personnel to Osun State? Why? What is the reason behind that? Why other people are out there seeking and soliciting for that? Even though thanks to the president and also thanks to Disu, a lot of police that were behind the VIPs are now being withdrawn. And whenever you see a policeman following a VIP, if the police disciplinary committee see him, they will likely bring him into book. And apart from that, it wasn't only Jonathan that spoke that yesterday. Even Musa, defense minister,
yeah,
he made it clear that he's also worried about that. Why are we heading to? And after that statement, Jonathan also made it clear that after the deployment of 15,000 armed personnel, still there is what we call solidarity among the state governors.
Yes.
Because we saw the governor of Edo, is it
Okpebholo?
He was in Osun in order
Yes.
to give the to support his own candidate and Oyebamiji.
Yes.
And after that, I saw another governor. I forgot the other governor. So let me reflect you back to this support started in Kogi State when Governor Yaya Bello, the White Lion, fell woefully and he wanted to go back for the second term. Governor Nasiru El-Rufai was in the campaign podium with Governor Yaya Bello, even to the extent that Governor Nasiru El-Rufai prostrated down and he was begging the people of Kogi, please vote for Yaya Bello, vote for Yaya Bello. And this is intimidating people. These are the people that have the military might under them. These are the people that have resources under them.
Yeah.
And these are the people that even if you go back to their state, if they say that open a toll line, call and let us at least try and assess the level of performance of that governor, I think he may likely get F9 or E9 or E8.
So where do you now draw the line between a genuine support and political interference?
Political interference, for as long as the governors will continue to siphon the financial means, the financial muscles is with them, they will continue to interfere. And the political will, change begin with me. If you know that you as an executive governor, you have done tremendously well to your people, you don't need any other external force. You will just go back, do the needful. What is the work of an executive governor? Provide the necessary basic amenities to your people. If it is time for the election of your people, then your people will elect you and go back. But those people, they knew that they have, even this political party, this politician, remember that was some 6 to 5 months ago. We saw the irregularities that happened in their own direct primaries. Even the process when they emerge, it has it has a lot of irregularities. Some people even emerge in the wrong way. Some people even emerge in a process of godfatherism. Some people
Yes.
even emerge, well, they are not even competent to do that. Some people will even emerge, they even won the direct primaries, but INEC or the political party will go and hand over the certificate of return to other people. We saw a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
Recently, something happened in Gombe State. Senator Danjuma Goje, he was somehow suspended and being expelled from the ruling party, that is the APC. And we saw Kangiwa of Gombe, who is the flag bearer of Gombe's Central Senatorial District. Recently, we saw something happen. We saw what happened to Ali Pantami. Ali Pantami was a member of the of the APC, and subsequently he was unable to cleanse the ticket of the APC. While
he
Yayari
defected.
was in the PDP, we recently saw Ali Pantami is now the flag bearer of the PDP. These are the kind of irregularities that trigger those people. Even during your emergence, you did not emerge through the legitimate way, then what do you expect? So we have to continue seeing all this political interference. But if you really want to sanitize and cleanse the system, people of high caliber should join politics. And if you join politics, consider politics as a means so that you can represent and give your best to your people. Your people will campaign for you. The likes of Muhammadu Buhari have contested for more than 5 times. And even we saw how Nigerians have been dashing out money. 500 naira airtime, 100 naira airtime to buy that led to what most of them bought tickets for Muhammadu Buhari. These are ideological based politicians.
Indeed, indeed. And 2027, I always say that it's going to be an interesting time ahead for us because one of the major things Abubakar has always clamored for is for everyone to be involved in politics.
Of course.
This is not the period where you shy away and say you have no business being involved in politics. So now let's move to our next paper. We'll be taking a look at the Vanguard newspaper. And on the front page, it says 24 killed, many injured in fresh Plateau attack. Now, of course, we are moving from politics to the issue of insecurity, which is one that has lingered for quite some time. And the attack reportedly occurred in Bimpa community, Mangu local government area, between Monday night and the early hours of Tuesday. And I was very, very saddened when I saw some of the videos from that attack. And Plateau has, been in the news for this same reason. Why does this keep happening? And why does it seem like at this point, nobody's really paying attention to their cries anymore?
I really, really don't know what is wrong with Governor Caleb. Every week, you will see attack in Plateau, Jos. Why is Jos now becoming the hot seat?
Very true.
Before it was Borno, and God so kind, Borno are now enjoying a relatively peaceful, and now they are trying to migrate into Jos. Plateau. Why all that? Is it because of the presence of natural resources? Or is it because of the presence of ethno-religious background that are there? Is it this crisis and this killing you are trying to at least tack and make some religion or make some ethnic groups look blackmail or blackmail them? Because after that, you will just see that a group of unknown gunmen, a group of Fulani jihadis, a group of this and that. I think this is the right time for us to start thinking, because I recently made a suggestion that most of our own fertile line, the government should find a way of bringing development very, very close to the people. I saw a documentary from Delhi Trust. One community in Jos, in Plateau, that community was victimized by what they call, I don't want to mention name, but what they call, they have been experiencing Fulani and this conflict between Fulani and those people that are rearing cow. Fulani and farmers.
Okay, farmer-headed
clashes. They have been experiencing that. One of young boy, just of 11 or 13 years, he said that in a broad daylight, someone just came and attacked him. And he killed his dad. He killed his cow. and they have been in that post-traumatic insecurity trauma for almost 5 to 7 and even 15 years. What is this thing telling you? What is the government doing? If the government, they are truly addressing the problem of insecurity, I believe by now they could have addressed everything. I saw a disturbing video yesterday. I even shared the video with you if you could remember. The person that was being tagged as unwanted criminal, we saw him in Kasina. Is it yesterday or on Monday?
I think that was on Monday.
That was on Monday. What is his name?
Is it
Alero?
Alero, yes.
Ado Alero. Which is in the presence of armed personnel, in the presence of police, military, and the rest. Then what do you expect? That is to tell you there is a reason behind this insecurity that is currently going on. I had one disturbing audio record of General Rabe, how General Rabe was killed, and how General Rabe was kidnapped.
Yeah.
Do you know that in this country, due to the level of insincerity of some of our leaders, that were unable to address the problem of insecurity, we saw a report that one governor or one state government here is sponsoring kidnappers and bandits to go to Mecca for Hajj.
I saw that story then, but of course, they came out to debunk it and said nothing of such was happening.
This is the man that you said you wanted him wanted, but he was very close to an army personnel. Talking and he even was beating his chest that one of the major reasons why up to this material time that peace accord between the government and even the criminals is yet to see the light of the day is because the government are yet to fulfill most of their own promises. If you see demand, most of those bandits are demanding to bring in order to release people, you will just get wonder, because they will just be asking you PMS, carton of Indomie, some funds, and it has even extended that they will even ask you to bring motorcycle to them.
Yes,
where are we heading?
Yes, of course. Now, what
is the likes of Alero, is the likes of Halilu Sububu, and is the likes of Kachalla, are they more powerful than Nigerian government?
At this point, one doesn't really know the right answer to give, because
we don't know. We are confused.
Yes, we are quite confused because we keep seeing these people boldly making certain statements and saying they are untouchable.
They are there, TikToking live. I saw one of them was even busy snapping pictures very, very close to police van.
Oh, those ones will be part of the
and this is the country where bandits are going live on TikTok asking people for giveaway. Nigerians are asking them to give them money.
Yes.
Where are we heading to? I think, I don't want to sound pessimistic. I just saw someone made it clear that there will be a time those criminals may likely be appointed as commissioner, SA, or even PA, and there will be a time when police and bandits, they'll be working hand in hand. Is it not recently we saw a video of policemen waving and saluting some bandits? Have you not come across the video?
Of course, they also came out again to
they are even saluting them. They say,
those ones are
go.
Hopefully,
where are we heading to?
We don't
and
get
there
to
will be
that
a
time.
moment. There will be a moment when you will see the likes of Ado Alero poster. He's going to represent the good people of Kasina.
Hopefully not.
It is obvious.
Hopefully
it has started happening.
That will not happen.
Then why will the government go on a same table with them, trying to scare truth and reconciliation?
Let's go on a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll trash that out.
In Turkey.
When we go on a quick break, let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll trash that out. Please stay with us.
My name is Mariam Hassan Baba. I'm the founder of the Northern Therapist. Okay, so one myth is that marriage is a difficult situation, is a difficult institution where you need to have all the answers. That's a myth. It's something that you live intentionally and try to get the right tools to support you, right? So yeah, that's a myth. Yeah, because the society, teaches you that as a married couple, you should know everything. As a married couple, you should live happily ever after. And that's why if you're having challenges, it feels like a personal failure and you don't want to see a therapist. But the reality is that as a couple, nobody is wired to know everything. Nobody is wired to have all the right support, all the right tools as they navigate life, right? And getting support, even from a therapist or from a relationship expert or from a coach, is highly advisable to help you meet your goals at the end of the day. Because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be judged as they failed. They don't want to be judged as maybe they are not attractive enough or they are not man enough, or, just there's a shame that comes around failing in marriage and people take it personal. But we need to know as a society that if your marriage fails, it doesn't mean that you're not a good person or you're not a smart person. Smart people, intelligent people, God-fearing people still encounter challenges in marriage, but they should be able to know that just because I'm a good person does not mean that I already have the skills that I need to navigate difficult situations, right? And it's got nothing to do with me. So my position, who I am, has got nothing to do with me going out to seek tools or support that would help me to have a better relationship. Yes, of course. And this is a very interesting question because most times in couples therapy, a partner would tell you that I want to do therapy, but my partner does not want to come. And so because of that, I'm not going to come. But that is a wrong mindset. Even if your partner does not want to come, you can start because you are a key factor in whatever it is that it's happening in the marriage. Even if you're not initiating, but you're responding or you're detaching, which is also a response. So if you can learn your own part of it, the role that you're playing or not playing, and how to take a stand, then that would birth healthier ways to navigate the difficult seasons that you have in your parents should teach sons that they are allowed to also have emotions. They are allowed to express their emotions. They are allowed to take responsibility for things that the society has taught them that they have no reason to take responsibility for, like being active in taking care of your child, helping out your wife in domestic activities, telling your wife things that would make her feel like she's a significant part of your life. All these things are very important and should be normalized for men to see. I think it's important that we stop gendering all of these lessons because just because you're a man or just because you're a woman does not mean that there are certain things that you cannot do. If those things are needed for you to have a better life, why not? What's stopping you? Your gender should not stop you from showing up for the people that you love. Your gender should not stop you from contributing to the kind of life that you feel like you need or you deserve.
Welcome back from that break, and this is still SN4 Morning Digest happening live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. And before we went on the break, we were talking about the consistent attacks that we keep seeing in Mangu local government area or in Plateau State generally. So quickly, before we move on, what can we do? What can be done at this point to ensure that these issues do not keep repeating? Because right now it has become a norm in Plateau State that every month or every other day you will hear the news of one attack or the other from Plateau.
Well, implementation, the government have done a lot of things. We saw the deployment of state police. Now you see the light of the day. We even saw the increment of division and a lot of things. All what we are after and all what we are advocating is community understanding, religious tolerance.
Yeah.
Because the killing maybe has to do with maybe religion bias. Maybe you felt like you're a Christian, then I will take your life. Or you felt like you're a Muslim, then I will take your life. None of the religion is advocating for killing.
But then people keep killing each other.
Let me tell you something. All those that are killing in the name of religion, if you go back, they are not even true religious in nature. Because I expect, if you are a true devoted Christian, I have to see it in your own appearance, the way you speak, the way you interact, the way you give love, the way you preach the word of the Lord. And also same with a Muslim too. But the little thing, they will start chanting Allahu Akbar, because, oh my God. You see, because that is why up to this material time, I am so much happy with the way Karl Marx defined religion. Because Karl Marx defined religion as an opium of the masses.
Yes.
He also defined religion as a tool of destruction. He also defined religion as a tool for manipulation, especially in Africa.
Yes.
So we have to take religion aside. We are human beings first before any religion.
Yes, so that's the message we always preach. Even here at Essence, our central message is love and humanity first before anything. Because of time, we will quickly touch on our last story for the day, which is still on the Vanguard newspaper. Breach of honorary degree rule. Phase 2-year ban. NUC warns universities. So let me just quickly get your thoughts on that development.
I'm really excited with what NUC did, especially with someone that has so much interest in the academia. Because I find it difficult whereby, in university we call it for someone in university we call it, oh my God.
Well, because
for you to address somebody without PhD
in
university, I think we call academic indiscipline.
Oh, okay.
It's an academic discipline for someone without PhD to call him doctor. But we just woke up. In this country, we saw the likes of Dr. Rarara.
Dr. A, Dr. B, Dr. C.
Well,
everyone is now a doctor in Nigeria these days.
So these are the kind of universities that, because, I always tell you that since the return of democracy, politics have sent this country to somewhere that we are still lamenting where we are heading to. Because for an honorary degree to be given to somebody, it has to pass through the University Governing Council. It has to pass what we call the criteria. What are the criteria? Are you going to be honored based on your philanthropic gesture? Are you going to be honored based on your impact you are making in society? Do you know that we have the likes of Dr. Muhammad Shatta, one traditional musician, Mamman Shatta? So he has been making impact through the use of his own words, through music.
Yes.
So these are the kind of impactual honorary degree that we need to see in among Nigerians. But now let me tell you something. As I'm right now here, me that I'm struggling with a single BSc, if to say that tomorrow they may likely confirm me to be the next governor of Gombe State, one university out there, they will just come and give me honorary degree, Dr. Abubakar. I did not deserve it, but rather they are trying to see the benefit that is going to come out from that.
Yes, especially a lot of these universities. You see a lot of universities that do this. I know the very big universities do it, but small universities here and there, operating in one small corner here and there, they are so quick to give honorary degrees. Sometimes you see them, they will even be the ones that will come and be soliciting that we are considered you, we have done this.
We have considered
just because
and to be honest,
is
it prefix
favor.
and suffix? Those are immaterial in life.
Yes.
Those that earn that PhD through a legitimate and an acceptable means, even if you address them with doctors, they will just be hiding themselves.
Yes.
Because I'm still yet to understand that knowledge is the only thing that will transform you from arrogant to humble. And those that knowledge have transformed them from arrogant to humble, they do not even care about those prefix or suffix. It's those people that are being honored that if you did not address them with doctors, they will start frowning themselves. And I believe what NUC did is a good one. They have to warn the universities, because the universities is now subjected to what is it not recently that I saw ASU are complaining that the recruitment of university lecturers is being hijacked by politicians. You will see a school dropout. Maybe he just went to one of the Francophone states and obtained a degree within 9 months.
Yes.
These are the people that you are going to send them into classroom to educate the next generation set of scientists, to educate the next generation set of Albert Bandura, to educate the next generation of Steve Jobs. I think politicians should remove politics in university. They should allow those that are capable of handling university to handle the university. Are you fully aware that even the appointment of vice chancellor, politicians are now interfering in it?
These days, yeah, it's very important that
I know a state in this country that the University Governing Council have struck out the name of one professor that has contested to be the next VC of that country, of that state. But when the list was taken to the governor went ahead and picked the one that was being struck.
Thank you, Abubakar. Politics. Because of time, I have to put a stop to you right now. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. Ultimately, it's very important that we allow all these institutions to be independent so that we'll maintain the dignity and sanctity of our public institution. That concludes today's newspaper review. Thank you so much for staying with us. Coming up next, we are taking the conversation beyond the studio and onto the streets where Nigerians have their say in our Street Talk segment, of course. And there's still plenty more ahead, from Health 360 to top trends making waves and the latest action from the world of sports on the sports desk. But for now, it's goodbye from me, and stay with us because the morning is only getting started.
We constantly complain about bad leadership. But if corruption disappears tomorrow, are ordinary Nigerians ready to change behaviors that keep corruptions alive?
People will go back to their party receipts immediately. Because I could remember when Buhari won the president. Nigerians go back to their party receipts. People are benefiting from the corruption. They are kicking against it, and they are now joining them. It's just because they say, if you can't beat them, you join them. That's it.
So basically, this is our leadership. What you can say, Nigeria, we are corrupt, mostly from first to the end. Like myself personally, we are also corrupt. But what we can change, if you want to change, we can change. But everybody knows what is going on in this Nigeria. Understand? So it's only we pray. May Almighty God bring the person who has Nigerian mind in his mind, you understand, who can do Nigeria what deserves Nigeria. That's what I can say.
Nigeria is passing through a lot because of poverty and hardship. If poverty will be reduced, I think corruption will stop in Nigeria. But as far as people are bad, a lot of people are being corrupt not because they are bad, but because some situations like poverty make them to end up doing what they don't plan to do or what they don't like doing. People do that to get money, to earn to pay their bills. Because if you look at Nigeria now, so many graduates, they don't have jobs, they are going up and down looking for what or means of survival. So when any opportunity that comes, they use it to make money. They use it to do what they think they feel is right for them. So that is what I think that is causing corruption in Nigeria. Poverty is the key to Nigeria. So the better systems using it.
I think Sapa money, so they don't find like proper sources of income, so they have to like resort to crime, resort to illegal means to them. I think that's the major reason why they participate in corruption.
For Nigeria to change at all. Nigeria is a very easy people to control. Very easy. But easy people to control.
Yes. If Nigerian youth are being employed, I think poverty, the corruption will reduce and it will stop. If all the youths that are being graduated from schools are being employed, I think that will take us to a very far place where corruption will reduce.
Well, I mean, we've been enduring for how long now? We're always enduring from every regime to as the regime changes, Nigerians have grown to survive after survival. Other things will change.
We've heard the responses from fellow Nigerians. Let us be the change we want to see. Quiet Linus for S24 Television.
One word. That's all it takes to shape how we see someone. Autistic. For some people, that word sparks curiosity. For others, confusion. And for many, unfortunately, it comes with assumptions. Hello and welcome, beautiful people, to Health 360. I'm your host, Martha Okpala-Nedu, and today on the show, we are putting those assumptions to the test as we explore autism through facts, lived experiences, and expert insights. Because understanding starts when we are willing to ask better questions. And who better to help us navigate this important conversation than someone who is deeply committed to advancing mental health awareness and inclusive care. Joining me today is Dr. Oyewole, a medical doctor, mental health advocate, and founder of the Stillwaters Mental Health Foundation. Through his work across universities and communities across Africa, he has empowered thousands of young people through mental health education, advocacy, and wellness initiatives, making him a respected voice in conversations around emotional well-being and neurodevelopmental conditions. Hello, Doctor. Thank you for joining us on Health 360.
It's a very great privilege for me. Thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about autism, as you already know. But before we dive in, we do something on Health 360 where we check your vibe, we check if you're 360-degree enough to be on Health 360. Doctor, are you ready?
I am.
Do you think you're 360 enough?
I am.
Okay. So I'm going to play a little this or that. Understanding or assuming?
Understanding.
Ooh, patience or pressure?
Pressure.
Oh, Doctor, you like pressure? Like
I
you
think
can
I
work,
do,
you can actually
yes.
handle it. Well, that's actually a very nice thing. Acceptance or judgment?
Acceptance.
Listening or speaking?
Speaking.
Inclusion or isolation?
Inclusion.
Different or normal?
Different.
Cats or dogs?
Uh,
I know you're an animal person.
No.
Okay. Plan everything or go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
Ooh, spontaneity. Okay. What's one app you can absolutely live without?
And let me say Twitter.
Okay, you can live without it.
Yes.
You don't like.
No.
Okay, so who's Dr. Oyewole beyond the medical space? Can you shed more light on that?
Okay, so I would say Dr. Oyewole is a mental health advocate. I believe if I were not a doctor, I would still be a mental health advocate.
Wow.
I believe I'm a different kind of medical doctor. Just like when you were saying different, I chose different.
Yeah.
So I believe I'm a different kind of medical doctor. I have a great creative quotient, and that helps me to further in the kind of works I do and even in the way I practice medicine.
If your friends could define you, what do you think they'll say about you beyond the medical walls?
I think they would say I'm a go-getter and I really put in the work. I think they will say those two things.
Okay, so Doctor, we can see that you passed our test. So welcome to Health 360 Official.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Okay, so to get to our main conversation for the day,
Okay.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly is autism spectrum disorder, and why is spectrum important?
Okay, so autism generally is a neurodevelopmental condition, meaning it starts even before the individual is born, and then it affects social behavior, and then it also affects communication. It's called a spectrum disorder because there are different ways it can manifest. There's no particular way that autism can manifest. So a person could have autism and could live the daily job, could be efficient at work, but may just have issues with maintaining high contact, like I am doing with you now.
Oh.
While we will have some who are non-verbal, we call them non-verbal, and they may need 24/7 assistance every time.
You said something about they start before the individual is born.
Oh, yes.
How is it hereditary or what?
No. It's a neurodevelopmental. So like in the formation of the neurological parts of the body, something goes wrong or something doesn't happen as it normally does for other people. And then it's reflecting some of these ways that we'll see talk about in this discourse.
So moving on, many people say everybody's a little autistic. Is that scientifically true?
Oh no, yes, it's not scientifically true at all in any way, because you can't say that people are autistic. It's just like saying because people like sugar, they are diabetic, they have a little bit of diabetes.
Okay.
No, it's very wrong, because yes, we might have some people who have maybe issues with maintaining high contact. Maybe they are shy, or maybe they like routines. We have people like that, but that's a preference. For people that are autistic, it's not a preference, it's their process, it's the way they process things. So
Information.
it's really part of their neurodevelopment. Like I said earlier, it's not like they have a choice or it's what they prefer to do.
So for an autistic person, what exactly is going through their brain? Like how do they process information differently?
Okay, so research has shown actually that for autistic people, there can be parts of their brains that are, let me say, overstimulated, and there are some that are understimulated. So we can have someone that is very autistic, can be very creative, can have intense focus, can be very, very focused, can pay attention to details, and may have problems changing from one routine to another. While some of the other parts of their brain may be understimulated, so they may have problems with social cues. They may have problems with, like I said, changing their routines. They may have problems with filtering noise. That's what other people would see as normal. So there are different ways that research has shown.
The overstimulated autistic patients, would you say that they are too rigid?
No, I'm not going to say overstimulated autistic patients. I'm going to say some parts are overstimulated. Do you get my point? While some parts are understimulated. So they may not be as social as possible. They may have good coding abilities, they may be very creative, and so on and so forth. So that's why the spectrum comes into play, because the overstimulation, it could be different in individuals, and then the understimulation could also be different for each individual. So we can't classify them as this and that. You get?
Yes, I get. So what are some early signs parents should not ignore?
Okay, so in my opening statement, I think I mentioned that there are behavioral components and there are communication components. So for behavior, person may not be able to maintain eye contact. The person may like routines a lot. When you want the person to engage in a newer thing, maybe the person may have problems doing that. The person may like one particular thing, having interest in a particular thing. Communication, when a child is, for instance, not blabbing at 12 months, that's an early sign. When a child is, for instance, not talking at 16 months, no words at all, that's a problem. Or the child is losing words that the person could say earlier, that's also a problem.
Who are most likely to be diagnosed autistic, and why do many people, especially girls and women, go undiagnosed for years?
Okay, so I think we have about 4 more people, like let me say the ratio 4-1 between boys and girls. But some of these things really cause it because, for ladies, many of them have the ability to mask these symptoms and hide it under being shy. Oh, you just said she's shy, she's anxious, and so on and so forth. But really, looking at the progression of research, for instance, in autism, people that were first of all researched were the boys. Do you get my point? And then a lot of the questionnaires that were made were boy specific. So those are some of the things that contributed. So it might be that a lady may have been masking it for a while. Maybe she now gets a total burnout. That's when we now get to actually diagnose it, and it could be at adulthood at that point.
Okay, so here's something I find fascinating. Some autistic people have incredible memory, extraordinary creativity. You already mentioned that they can be that they're creative, or intense focus. Is this a coincidence or is there science behind it?
Yes, there's a science behind it because there's something we call the monotropic mind. So that mind helps them to be able to focus. They can pay attention to details, like I said. So it's like a trade-off. The fact that, they may not be able to have enough social interactions. Their brain is more focused on things like details. They're focused. They do well in tech. They're very good with coding. A number of them are very good with coding. A lot of them do well in engineering because, they can pay good attention to details. Some of them are very good in the arts because they can really, really connect to it. So they have that part of their brain because of their mind. They're able to be intensely focused and really get things done.
So it's not really a death sentence.
Oh, no, it's not a death sentence. I think the major issue we have is that people try to fix them. But once they are understood and there are people around them that can understand them, they'll be able to have their good attributes. They can have it exponentiated. And so they'll be able to do good things even despite the condition.
Wow. Can you describe what sensory overload actually feels like?
Okay, so sensory overload is like, imagine that you go to the market now, and then Of course, we all know that markets are very noisy. And then imagine that the average noise, you're hearing it 5 times louder. Then imagine that you are smelling different smells, like 10 different smells at once. Then imagine that you are feeling that some people are tapping you every 5 seconds, asking you like 3 different questions at the same time. That's like an explanation of sensory overload. So basically, sensory overload is what I've described. And you can imagine also having some flashing lights in that condition. So that's what sensory overload is. Just imagine you being in such a situation.
So these autistic people feel that way?
But yes, quite a number of them, especially when they're on the other side of the spectrum, they could feel, because their senses are very, very sharpened and they can pick things out very, very fast.
You know, this is also kind of common in us too. Like sometimes whenever we wear earpiece, it's like that's when people will start calling us. Like,
you can imagine that.
Oh.
But imagine that the normal way you're hearing a normal voice, you're hearing it 5 times louder. And the other sensory parts are also overstimulated.
Okay, you've mentioned communication, but let's talk about that. What an autistic person doesn't respond the way society expects? Are they refusing to communicate, or they are communicating differently?
The truth is that they are communicating differently, because look at me asking you this question now. I say, how are you? If I ask you how are you, it's an open-ended question, but we have like hidden rules that tells us how we should actually answer those questions. And but an autistic person can't relate with that. The person takes the words literally. And so may find the question very, very vague. I may not be able to answer, I may not be able to make eye contact. It doesn't mean the person is trying to be stubborn or the person is trying, it's just how the brain is being wired. Do you get my point? So their social part is quite suppressed and they take things for how you say them. Do you get my point? So it's not like they're being difficult. They're just different, and it's because of their brain wiring.
So would you say they are introverts?
Yes, I think I would say that to a large extent. But again, this depends on the spectrum, where they are on the spectrum.
How much damage can happen when teachers, parents, or employers misunderstand autistic behaviors as stubbornness, disrespect, or laziness?
Yes, I think this happens a lot. Really does happen a lot. And that's why programs like this that we're having here at 360 is a very beautiful one. Big kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
People really need to understand that they are different. That's how they are. That's how they were given birth to. And like I said earlier, we just need to understand that they can really still make progress if they are well understood. And so teachers should not be hard on them, should not feel, because they are not making eye contact or they're asking too many questions, looking for clarity. It doesn't mean they're trying to be stubborn or difficult. It's just the way they are being wired. And I'm sure that with more training for teachers, for instance, they would understand them well and would know that they need more help and they need more attention in that regard.
Beautiful. So what are some everyday things people unknowingly do that make life harder for autistic individuals?
Okay, there are a lot of many everyday things. Imagine you're noticing someone doesn't like to maintain eye contact, but you're forcefully trying to maintain eye contact. Or a person is complaining about how the sound is and all of that. You're just saying, just cope. You know, those are things that can really, really affect. Or you're working with someone that is autistic and then you just change your plans last minute. Do you get my point? Or you're trying to force such a person to stop from his normal routine. You know, that can really affect them because of their brain wiring. So these are things that people can unconsciously do, and it will affect such individuals.
Oh, wow. So how can schools become truly autism friendly instead of simply saying they're inclusive?
I think teachers should be trained on how they can better relate with autistic children. Not just giving them general care as for special needs, because some of them may need, some of them may not be very vocal, so we may need alternatives for communication for them. Some of them may not be very good at asking questions. Do you get? So we need that. Then we also need to educate people around them. We need to educate their classmates so that they know that these are not people to be bullied because of their condition. And then we need to have conditions that will suit them. We have to have quiet places because they don't do well in places that are very noisy, for instance. So we need to maintain some of those status quo for them to be able to bring out the best in them.
Okay, so let's flip the script. Reverse was the case. What if the teacher is actually the autistic individual? What do you think?
Oh, okay. So if a teacher is an autistic individual, because that could actually be the case. I believe strongly that those who are employing him or her should understand that, and then the conditions, like I said, the conditions where the person will be functioning should be very, very, very curated for that person. Then number two, we should know that they may not be able to do well with normal forms of communication. That should also be put into place. And then the fellow teachers should also be orientated about that, so that such an individual is not bullied. And trust me, they do very, very well, especially when they are made to sharpen those parts of them that are very, very strong. They end up to be very good doctors, very good surgeons, end up to be very, very good tech guys, like I said, and so on and so forth.
That's nice. So many parents feel guilty after a diagnosis. What would you say directly to a parent watching this who is blaming themselves?
I would say that it's not your fault. It's not because of any vaccine. It's not because of anything you did wrong. It's a neurodevelopmental condition. And so parents have to understand it. And you don't have to be perfect as a parent. You just have to be there for them. You just have to be present. You have to understand them. You have to understand their triggers. And then you have to be able to commit yourself to creating an environment that will bring out the very best from them.
That's beautiful. Since technology is changing healthcare rapidly, how is it improving autism diagnosis, therapy, and communication today?
Okay, so yeah, there are a number of apps that are being built.
Apps?
Yes, apps. And then they are able to monitor eye movements. Monitor eye movement, and then they also check speech patterns, so they can help you to flag such things early. Then therapy too. Yes, we have apps also that help with therapy, that helps them to, in a repetitive way, teaches them some social skills so that they're able to be more social as they move on. And then also in treatment, we have, for instance, some devices that are being built that help with text to speech. For instance, those who can't speak very well. So when they text what they want to, and you can help them speak. So there is a growing industry, but really it's looking to that way. And then I'm sure that with time, there'll be more.
What does success actually look like for an autistic person? Okay, you already said that they can be successful doctors already.
Oh, yes.
Tech.
And success is not perfection for them. And then it's person specific. Do you get? It's person specific in the sense that for a person, it could be the person can leave their normal work, like I said, and will be able to make progress wherever he or she works, but not be able to maintain eye contact. For some other people, it may just be having a good friend. For some people, it's just being able to find themselves in an environment where people can understand them, do you get, and then also respect their needs. So success is not a singular thing for an autistic person. It's, let me say, personified.
Emphasis on respect their needs.
Thank you.
Imagine every viewer remembers just one thing after today's program. What's that one thing you hope it is?
So it will just be the phrase that being different is not less. The fact that the way their brain wires things, way it understands it, is not from the way most of us do, doesn't make them less. It just makes it have to be a situation where we commit ourselves to them being better. We commit ourselves to understanding them better and trying our best to make sure that they bring out the best of them and they have fewer burnouts or meltdowns.
Being different is not less.
It's not less.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Oyewole. So we are done with our main interview, but we are going to our Bust or Trust segment. It's called Healthcare Police. You are the police in this situation, sir. So I'll throw out a statement to you. You investigate the myth hiding behind facts. You expose them. You understand?
No
and
problem.
then to the statement, you respond bust or trust. Bust is false, trust is true. Okay, doctor. Are you ready, please? Autistic people don't enjoy friendships, bust or trust?
Bust.
Why?
They enjoy friendship, like I said, for success. It might just be having one good friend, and then having people that can understand them. So that's even part of what they need.
One good friend. Looking someone in the eye isn't the only way to show you're paying attention. Bust or trust?
Trust. Yes, doesn't mean, we could be talking and I was not making eye contact to you, or I was in another room and we would do very well communicating with each other.
I mean, phone calls too.
I mean, thank you.
If an autistic child isn't speaking, it means they have nothing to say. Bust or trust?
That's bust. No. It may just be that they have problems with communication, which is a foundational issue with them.
Changing routines without warning can cause genuine stress for many autistic people. Bust or trust?
Trust, yes. Trust. Like I mentioned earlier, it can. It's one of the things people do every day that can really affect them.
Yeah, changing routines. Every autistic person experiences autism in exactly the same way.
It's a spectrum. Bust.
It differs. Can you explain actually?
Oh yes, like I said, it's a spectrum. So it's a whole spectrum. So it depends on where you find yourself on the spectrum. So it's yes. So it's
best support to give an autistic person.
Yes, so I think the best support to give an autistic person is to respect their needs, like we mentioned, and to be there. We're not expected to be perfect for them or to them, but we're expected to be present and to help them every step of the way.
An autistic adult can build a successful career, have relationships, and live independently.
Oh yes, please. Yes, please. They are outstanding. They are outstanding in surgery. You know, I don't know if you've seen this Good Doctor, The Good Doctor. There's this particular doctor is autistic. They're very good. Yeah, yes, it's The Good Doctor is a series, and it's really, really good. It pays attention to all of the details and so on and so forth, and it remembers things. They have photographic memories for quite a number of them. So yes, once they are understood, and then we can potentiate their good points, they can do very well.
Autism should be cured. Bust or trust?
Autism is something that we have to manage over time. It's a lifelong thing. And I think I've overemphasized in the course of this conversation that they just need to be respected, have their needs respected and understood, and they will do very, very well. So that's it.
Okay. Lastly, doctor, before letting you go, if the world were designed by autistic people, what would society look like?
So I think society will be so quiet, be so quiet. I also believe that there will be certain ways that things should be done. We won't live in a world where you just have a change of routine anyhow. No, you'll be penalized for that. There will be no space for that. But would have a safe environment because there will be a lot of attention to details. We'll have a lot of more progress in tech because they're really good with that. Our engineering will be superb. We'll have more paintings, more drawings. So I think it would really help in some parts, while some parts to like social interaction may not be well expressed.
But so do you think, which one would you recommend for a better society?
I think the society is fine the way it is. We have both parts. We have those that are not autistic and we have those that are autistic. And I think we're doing fine together once we can continue having great understanding for each other.
So if there's one thing to take away from today's conversation, let it be this. When we stop trying to make people fit into our world and start making room for different ways of experiencing the world, everyone benefits. Thank you once again to our guest. Thank you to Dr. Oyewole for making our time to speak to us on autism and everything we need to know about it.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
God
Doctor.
bless S24. God bless Health 360.
Amen.
Kudos.
And to you watching at home, thank you for being part of this conversation. If today's episode taught you something new, don't let it end here. Share it with a friend, start a conversation, and help create spaces where every mind is understood and valued. Until next time, I remain your host, Martha Okbalanedu, and this has been Health 360 on S24 Television, where better conversations lead to better health. Take care of your body and be kind to every mind. See you next time.
Sickle cell anemia continues to impact millions of lives, hence why the awareness is more important than ever. Today, the City of Hope is officially being launched to inspire hope, promote understanding,
and increase the awareness of the condition. Let's get into it. Be courageous, be confident, be you, because sickle cell does not define you.
Okay. Karima, that thing that they used to do, like PDP and it's what they used to do. That thing that they used to do, they used to gather people.
Campaign.
Easy.
Yes.
Didi.
What are we called by outsiders? Our profession. Our profession.
We're called journalists.
Wait.
Okay, nice one. Karima, okay. What's the first thing you used to write every day to come to this office?
Web story.
Okay, Didi, what do we use to record ourselves for people to see?
We use camera.
Okay. Karima, look, this is something in this office. This is something in this office. What's it called? Like, we used to do, like, maybe if there's international or something, we used to do something. What are we even doing now? What is it that we're doing now?
Content.
Go.
There's a team that Mr. John helps. What's the name of it?
Documentary.
That's very simple.
Like, we use something to symbolize something.
That's very simple. God help me.
Karima, Sadiqa.
God help us. Yeah. Hey, Jesus. Okay.
Okay. So what's that thing you do for a documentary? Like a documentary?
Pitch.
No, like when you're narrating what's happening in your documentary.
What's that in the voiceover?
Yeah. What's that thing we need on our social media to improve ourselves? Like to know the number of people that are watching us all the time.
Engagement.
No, we are close. We are close. Something they break down for us to know our social media engagement.
The analytics.
You know that they used to die. Like if you want to put your recharge card, that's you used to put at the end of 1, 2, 3. That's what they used to put now. That's before you send. If you want to check your balance, what is that?
1, 2, 3 hash.
Hello and welcome to Top Trend on Morning Digest, where we bring you the stories and videos getting Nigerians talking. From demolition in Maitama to bandit recruitment and finally a suspected thief who was made to dance after being caught. Yes, Nigerians have definitely been busy online. So let's get straight into today's top trend, which is our first trend is coming from Maitama, where a demolition has begun on structures reportedly obstructing waterways as the FCT minister Nyesom Wike moves to tackle flooding and illegal structure. But before we digest this topic, of course, I'm not the only one to do it. I have Mr. Solomon. Good morning.
How are you?
And I'm fine, good. So before we actually come back to start talking about the whole structure thing, let's take a look on that particular video and, of course.
Bro, even then.
Okay, that move has actually generated a lot of reaction, with many asking whether this is the beginning of a more serious effort to address Abuja's flooding problem. But here's the thing, Solomon. The bigger question is, how did the structure get there in the first place? Honestly, let's be honest about the whole point. How, because of course the minister should know that this particular place is actually a flooding area. But I'm very sure a lot of Nigerians have this question.
When you're asking me this question, a song came into my mind. I don't know if you know Omawumi. If you
ask me, now who I go ask? Oh my God.
I don't think building is something that just appeared overnight. There are several processes, from procurement of the land, you get the plan and everything. And I don't think you can execute a building project without the awareness of the government of the day. So that question you ask is valid, but I wish I have an answer to it. So, but if he is now on the move to erase those buildings, I hope and pray it's not in the window dressing approach. How do I mean? Is it on the lookout to actually solve the problem, or to use it as an avenue to witch hunt, or to spot juicy places they can also accrue to themselves? Because while I was going through that clip, right?
Yes.
Somebody reposted that clip and attached it to a post of Barrister Dejaji Onju I saw 2 weeks, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, where Dejaji Onju was posting a video of an ongoing construction in a drainage that is approved, according to Dejaji Onju, is approved by the minister, a 20-unit duplex. So on one hand, we can see that you are trying to curb the flood
Yes.
that we are dealing with. On the other hand, we are seeing that you're also contributing to it. So, Khadija, please help me make sense out of it.
Because the whole point is, one thing I know about Abuja is, of course, we have a master plan.
Okay.
And I think either the FCT
I don't think
minister.
it's limited to Abuja alone.
No,
most states have master plan.
Of course, but what I'm trying to say here is that the minister, of course, is aware of the master plan that we have.
Yeah.
So for him to allocate these particular areas, because take a look at Guzape on Saturday. I'm serious. Those, these are areas that you can never imagine, like there will be flood in this. A house was actually in the verge of, the fence was like in the verge of.
Was swallowed.
Yes, to show you that of all places, because Maitama, where we used to call it the big man's area, such things can never even occur to you that they will have this kind of flood. And then now you are coming to demolish these particular people. So are you trying to tell people that you guys did not know this particular place that you put on this structure? One day, if rainy season or anything should come up, water will not come and pass these particular areas.
To play the devil's advocate, maybe that structure was not approved during his tenure.
Perfect.
Okay, so maybe it was not approved. That we can let it slide. But the one who touch light is the ones that are ongoing currently. Especially the one the Jardine you touch lighted on, about 20 units of duplex. I think that I don't know if they has passed the foundation level now. I saw they were pouring concrete with iron mesh.
Yes.
On the inside the drainage itself.
Oh my
so
God.
I was teasing a colleague on Saturday when we were merry-go-rounding looking for where we pass, because the whole Guzape was flooded. I was telling her, I said, if you get to a point as you are getting ready with your car, you find a canoe and put in your boots. When you get to a place that your car can no longer move, you park, you say, oh God, where they come, put your canoe, we'll start paddling. And before you know, we'll start carrying nets so that we'll fish. Because it's sad that this whole thing, we are laughing at this, but in the next 10 years, what will become Abuja? That is the question. What will become Abuja?
Honestly.
So the whole place will not be able to build any serious building. And I saw a building when we were passing that today and we were dealing with that flood. I saw a building up for sale. And I was teasing my colleague. I said, probably this person has seen experience the flood.
Of course.
Like, this is for sale. And somebody who would not do his due diligence.
You come and buy that same plot of land or the house entirely.
Yes. And then the circle continues. So what I would say is that I hope what the minister of what is it called, Abuja City, Wike is doing things the appropriate way. Is to ensure that this demolition that is ongoing now to curtail the clogged waterways, it should not stop there. The ones that also affected in the building he allegedly approved that is in the drainage system, he should also demolish it until he goes to that tail end and fight to the finish. I'm sorry, I don't think he's actually
ready
to curtail it.
So, Solomon, let's even talk about these rural areas, because honestly, there were a lot of comments, people saying the reason why the Abuja flooding thing was actually viral, the newspaper headlines everywhere, it is because it's Abuja. What if, because maybe I won't say this is the first time Abuja is experiencing this, but to this kind of area, yes, on the last and to specific areas, So it's now that we're actually facing this. But look at those rural areas. I think there's a lot of flooding almost after, but we don't even talk about them.
Someone said, if you want to get the government attention, let the problem affect the rich.
Which is exactly what happened now.
So now you see moving our demolition machine and trying to run around. However, on the other flip side would be that the structures in the rural area don't follow master plan. Do you get?
Yes.
Many people just build whatever they want to build because you understand the economic level, the economic reality. They can't afford to even do a proper survey of the land. They can't afford to do the necessary check. They just buy. Most of those lands are not even government approved. So these things are bound to happen. And if you want to curtail it, now many people will be rendered homeless. I remember this case, was the last 2 years around Lugbe. There's a place called Is this there's one in rural area like that. Government has marked that place for demolition for over 10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
Wow.
But demolition is still pending. Why? Because whenever they demolish the area, people come back and raise the structure. And even though what they are doing is not proper, the question you would ask is, where would they settle? So some of them, they claim government gave them some money to go and relocate, but even the money is not enough. How much is a good land now in a good place? How much do you want to pay? Some lands go as far as, just even in places like Goglada, go as far as now 10 million naira, 20 million naira.
Yes.
Maybe the whole settlement that was given to them is just 20 million. Before you start, how much is a bag of cement? A bag of cement now, last time I checked, I think it's 11,000 naira.
Wow.
So all of those things is what you put in consideration. So if you want to tackle this flood issue, I'm an advocate of going to the fundamental level, the
Yes.
foundation of the root cause of the problem.
Yes.
So if you want to go by that, relocation will happen. Some people will have to be relocated, and if they are relocated, where are they relocating to? You don't just chase
relocate
people out of
people
their
and-
house. You
yes.
must create an alternative. Nature does not, nature abhors vacuum. Nothing exists in a vacuum. It's a long-term process. And I like the fact where you said the Abuja has a master plan. So I believe the master plan also accommodates rural areas. But rural area must be done in a proper channel because they'll still deal with the flood.
Yes.
So there are many areas you must tackle before the issue of the flood is tackled completely.
So another question that most times I always ask myself is that we talk about climate change,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of people that kind of believe that climate change is not real.
Yeah.
Yes, they believe climate change is nature,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I cannot say we can actually just curb, or we shouldn't believe that we cannot do something to reduce the level
Like
of
human
yes,
contribution.
yes,
because
the
we can
human
fast
angle.
track the
Exactly,
disaster,
because of course nature, you can't fight nature.
Yes.
You can't fight nature. But there are things that you as a human being, you can do to reduce the level of that particular problem we are facing, especially in our community.
Yes.
So let's go on a short break, and if we come back, and then we'll just touch light on the climate issue that people do not believe at all. Okay, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Top Trend on Morning Digest. And before we go on a short break, me and Solomon were actually discussing about climate change, which of course we're going to continue talking about that. So Solomon, there's, I'm actually an advocate of sustainable development goals, which is the SDGs. And I came across a lot of people who, most times, if I'm talking about the sustainable development, they feel like, what is this guy talking about? What is she saying? What is that? That is, most people like to, all these, you guys like taking all these foreigners things into your head. I'm not facing it. But if we are being honest, the truth is, the whole 17 goals of the SDG is something that we are doing every single day, but just that as Nigerians, you might not really know this is the particular,
in a structured form.
yes, this is what you are doing. But of course, consciously or unconsciously, indirectly or directly, you are practicing it. But of course, you don't know about it. Most times when we talk about climate change, when we are talking about the flood, the drainage, the waste and everything, these are things that it happens every single day. We talk about plastic waste in the sense that
eco-friendly activities.
Thank you. You just drink pure water sachet, you throw it anyhow. For you, it's just a pure water sachet. The amount of Nigerians, the amount of people that consume pure water in a day. Of course. So imagine if every single day you are accumulating this kind of waste and you just feel like anywhere, you are just throwing it just the way you like. So these are things that some people might just feel like it's nothing, but of course, these are things that are harming most of us. Even the fact that, okay, we are talking about Guzape, Maitama Axis, they have the master plans, they have good drainage and everything. It's part of the waste management of the thing that is still costing it, because tell me if they have a well-structured drainage approach, what will make all those things to happen? So the whole point that people should just understand that consciously or unconsciously, you are actually accumulating all these things. So you just need to do better, and the government should put this policy, follow the normal routine, go to FCDA before you build, before you buy any land, before you build on any land. Try as much as possible to follow due process for you not to fall victim of all this kind of thing.
And again, Khadija, if we are holding the government accountable, we should also hold
our
citizens accountable. You've seen cases where people would accumulate their dust, their waste, and then wait till like the dead of the night and throw it on the main road.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot.
See, what is, I think it's Meshara, they call them, right?
Yes,
the people
yes,
that carried,
yes.
What does it cost you to pay 200 naira? And what people don't know is when you make your environment toxic, you are also inhaling. It is what you give to, this is how I understand climate change, right? This is what you give to the environment
that you are
gives
getting
back to you. So if you pollute the environment where you are staying, right, it's going to also affect you. I was speaking with a nurse a few months ago, and she said she had like a client that constantly she keeps falling ill, and she asked, he said, what kind of water do you drink? What is the condition of your environment? So he discovered the water closet around her is busted, so that water is filtering into the walls of the building and she's inhaling it. Of course, you get sick.
Definitely.
So people who think they are trying to cut corner, I have a philosophy that says you don't break rules, rules break you. So climate change is really in the sense that you interact your environment, and your environment in turn interacts with you. And when you are seeing the dilapidation and the degradation of your environment, is a signal and a testament to how you've related with your environment.
So actually, that's the whole point is that the government should have a good policy of restructuring, since already we have the structure, but they should restructure the line of should I say the drainage passage and everything. So the whole point is people should just look at climate change is real. I'll still say that honestly. And the government should also believe that it's not only the urban area that are facing this kind of flood. We have the local areas who are every single day actually struggling with that. So moving forward to our next story, which is our there's a second trend is more disturbing. Of course, I watched the video and it's not, some people said it's funny and other people are saying it's sad. There's a reported recruitment of new members by bandit groups. Where you get to see people, they are calling themselves bandits and they are videoing themselves in that particular video, saying they are recruiting more bandits to come and join them. This is not something funny, but beyond the viral reaction, that raises a serious question: what is making people join these criminal groups? Or rather, most people will say it's poverty. lack of opportunities. Some people said they promised them money. That's the reason. But then let's just digest this quickly. I'm sure Solomon watched that particular
Yes, I
video.
did.
So
and
some people were laughing under the comments, which, if you ask me, is not funny. It is really not funny, especially in the sense that we are facing insecurity issue in Nigeria, and this is also, coming, recruiting new groups of bandits. How?
It's not even the recruitment itself that is saddening to me. It is the age demography of the people, the recruits. Is the recruits they call them recruits. You see, I always say that we can pretend to address an issue, or we can decide to address the issue proper way in which it must be addressed.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it Mother Teresa who said, if you want to make the world a better place, go home and love your family. Don't come and... Most times what we do as a people is cosplaying. How do I mean? I'm not friendly to my neighbor. I'm not empathetic to my family member. I'm not philanthropic to my family member, but I only give when the camera is on. That is window dressing. That is cosplaying. You are not... The people who know you for who you are. They know that. They know the real when the camera is off. So addressing this issue decisively would be that these children are from a family.
Yes.
How were they treated? So we must understand that as a people, I don't know which country have a penalty for if a child is found wandering on the streets. You arrest the child and you jail the family, because this child cannot fend for him or herself yet. It is the sole responsibility of the parent. So first and foremost is those children that are being recruited now, they are from a family. How were they treated? So I'm an advocate of proper care for children. You don't just give birth to them and leave them to themselves. If they are hungry, if they are not under your parental supervision, they are going to turn to anybody that looks like a parent. And if you are going to release your child to any training that is not under you, ensure that you pay close attention to that structure. If it is a school, you know that people release their children to boarding school, there are people who release their children to a religious setting, which is like a boarding school.
Yes.
And so ensure that the place where you are giving that child to, they follow the true tenets of your religion, and go time to time to check, because a child that you abandon to wander on their own, whatever they turn out to be, you have to live with that consequence. So these bandits that you are seeing like this, I believe they didn't come to the parents' house to snatch the children away. They found some of them on the streets. They found some of them not under direct supervision. So the first and foremost thing I would say is that parents should live up to their responsibility.
Yeah, so Solomon, I think I want to agree with you, and at the same time, I want to disagree with you.
Right.
Because you said something, I don't know if I'm allowed to use this word. There are some ungrateful children.
Okay.
We have some ungrateful people which I tell you, their parents did good. They did better in training them well, but they just choose to be ungrateful. In the sense that we have peer pressure, honestly. You said something just like, it's more or less like maybe every parent, as far as I'm concerned, would not just give birth to a child and believe he will not train that child. Just, okay, at one point, the parent did what they had to do. But of course, we have not all parents. That's why I think that this is a two-way thing, and which we need to kind of weigh, right? Yes, we need to weigh. Because honestly, there are some children that their parent did 100%, but you'll be shocked if you see their children outside.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's also a proverb in where is it called, in our local dialect that says they said what is it called? This okra.
Yes.
Okra, no, they top us who plant them. You understand? The meaning in itself is that no matter how a child claims to be recalcitrant and stubborn, you, the parents, still have the strength to bend the child. Do you get?
Yes.
If it surpasses the strength of the mother, the father steps in. If it surpasses the strength of the father has friends, he has younger brothers. If it surpasses the strength of the entire family, you introduce the government. We have law enforcement agencies. So I don't now I understand. The only time I will agree with you on this would be children that are 18 and above. Those ones, they've developed a mind of their own.
Yes.
They are strong. There's a limit to what you can do. The highest you can tell them is get out of my house. Since you can't abide by my rules, get out of my I can't be feeding you, clothing you, and it will dictate for me. But for children below 18, I feel there are much more things that the parent can do. I don't. There's this advocacy now about this Gen Z parent talking about soft parenting. Yeah, I don't.
You don't believe in soft parenting.
What is soft about? I believe in. I don't believe in soft parenting because what is soft parenting? They are advocating that you don't beat the child. You talk to the child, you beat the child, they affect your mental health. Okay. When you misbehave in this house, you take a whoop, and those things gives like a brain reset because where consequences absence, law and order would disappear.
Yes.
The society will disintegrate. The reason why you come up to be a responsible person like you are like this, I believe you had like peer pressures. But when you remember that when you and your mama go enter the same closet, you correct your head.
Yes.
And when you want to put stuff on your mama, you say, nah, either you kill me or
yeah,
one of us.
African parents.
Okay,
African parents.
They have so many ways to deal with you. Either through punishment, but I don't agree with the fact that you have to bend to the whips and caprices of children, where everything is talked. I believe in talking about that sometimes, or that
you need to step up. Yes, you need to reset that child.
Yes. So,
yes.
But all these try to talk. Every time it's not talking. Sometimes you need to introduce the rod.
Yeah. So what you're just trying to say is more or less like parents should just learn to be, be friends with their children. But if need to, step up, if your child is doing something wrong, of course you need to step up. If it's flogging, flog that
Give
child.
them, don't do. You see. These things is we the humans are trying to bend the law of nature. If you study animal kingdoms, they still abide by this principle. You see the dog playing with the little puppy, but if the little puppy want to go beyond biting, now that same teeth go use bite and say this thing is sharp, it still works.
Yes.
That I did not use it on you does not mean that it's not working. So let me tell you, how is society sane? Society is sane because when a driver drives and beats the red light, he's giving tickets, sometimes jail. The next day, if he remembers how much he left his account on the account of being misbehaving, beating the traffic light, he will maintain. So people are not necessarily good in themselves. It is laws, it is consequences that put people in check. So going back to this sad video, right? This is one angle that I've dealt with it to say that parents must live up to that their responsibility as a parent.
Yes.
Now on the government side, you and I know that these guys use phone to
TikTok.
record.
Yes.
They posted it on TikTok. I am a tech person. The phone has an IP address. You can get the geolocation. So why our government also doing about it? Or are we saying they somehow they are handling with kid gloves? Do they also agree to what is happening? So I don't know the answer. Maybe you do.
Of course, I don't know that, Solomon. But the whole point is that you just said something now. Why on earth will the so-called calling themselves bandits doing a video that they are recruiting as if it's a military, camp? Like you are recruiting people and you posted it on social media, and that even brings me to those other banditry video that you see them. Yes.
Have you done throw your
They will come online like that giveaway bandit thing. Up till now, I kept asking myself like, what's happening in Nigeria? Bandits coming online to do giveaway and you are sending your account number. How does that make sense? And the government are watching it because, of course, everybody, if not even citizens of Nigeria, everybody that is on social media are seeing what is happening. The another video is the fact that we were seeing police saluting to bandits. And they even came out to debunk it. Is a lie. I don't understand. They'll say it's AI. When AI is now everything happening in Nigeria now, the next thing is no, it is not true. It's AI. Haba.
I will go back to the famous philosopher Omawumi, if you ask me, now who I go ask?
Honestly,
there are many questions, but few
there are so
answers.
many questions. There are so many questions. But maybe let's go on a short break, and if we come back, we'll just get to digest like maybe some of the solution that we can actually curb this. And of course, a lot is happening. Stay with us on Top Trend for this seconds break, and we'll be back in the next few seconds. Okay, welcome back. And this is Top Trend on Morning Digest if you are just joining us. And we're actually discussing about our second trend, which is the whole banditry recruitment. And Solomon, every single day in Nigeria, honestly, we always have a topic of discussion.
Yeah,
Sometimes, you just wake up in the morning and then you will not be asking yourself, how did this, like, are we okay? Of course we are okay, but what is happening? What are the government doing? And most time we get to ask, we're always the government, but of course we need to ask them because if we are being honest, they actually knows, they're the one that knows the answer to most of our
Let me tell you
questions.
something, right? As an IT person,
Yes.
for an esteemed institution, organization, as it were, we have a networking system where you guys plug all your devices to the internet. It will be a shared sense of irresponsibility to its grandiose level if S24 would say they don't know what come into their internet space or how many devices are connected. We do. So even I was showing someone, a colleague of mine yesterday, I said, see the label of your gadget on our system. It is tracked because we need to know what comes in and what goes out. Every gadget have what we call MAC address. That MAC address is like a label, your identity on the internet, aside from the IP address. So tell me why, and trust me, I wouldn't lie to you, the bandits are not using any sophisticated, maybe satellites. They don't. It's still the regular day-to-day phone that they are using. So the caution is to the government to say, maybe when they're ready, they will curtail it. Now, let me tell you, even to the sophisticated level, which is in the times of the Al-Qaeda, even at that, you can still curtail it. But these guys are not even using the sophisticated gadget here. They're using the basic day-to-day phones that you can't open a TikTok account without a phone number or an email address. Who registered that for a SIM card? You don't need your NIN. So did they bring a ghost? Even we may argue to say, okay, they use somebody else's SIM. Then you track the person. The person will tell you, okay, the SIM lost. So if the SIM lost, okay, let me tell you, as they were talking about solutions, right? I'm
Yes.
telling you different ways to curtail this. If you're not using a mobile phone that connects to internet, you're at least using a mobile phone that makes call. There's something we'll call this masts. Mast we have for MTN, for Glo, for Airtel. When you dial your number, when you pick up your phone to dial a number, the phone will ping the nearest tower, the nearest mast. So if you're using an MTN now, the phone will ping the nearest MTN mast. That is where it gets connection. Then you call the person. MTN, as it were, when you are calling and they know the address. Okay, maybe they may label this MTN mast will be MTN mast 01 Guzape. So they know that you're within that
axis.
Thank you. So the same thing is happening to the bandits. They are making calls. So which mast are they connecting to? So the label of those masts, they know it. So when they are ready, the answer will be provided.
That's true, because you just said something that they are making calls, and come to think of it, these people, they eat food.
Okay.
Who used to bring the food for them? Who used to the bags, the all the bags and the
actually, right? They use ghosts provide the food. They use invisible bags.
That's why they cannot actually, get them.
Even the internet they use is invisible.
Wow.
So that is why the government actually trying to get them, but the things these guys are using is impossible to track.
May God help us. I think that is the whole point I would say. So I think the biggest conversation most time is not about fighting and banditry, and also is it just about stopping those already involved. There also have to be a way to stop new people from being recruited. And of course, most of the time, I think I would say, let's pray for our dear country, Solomon, though we are praying. So let's move to our next topic. Even though this one, a lot of Nigerians were actually laughing. A suspected thief was caught and made to dance, with people online joking that nobody should steal this year. Because if you imagine the recent trend that has been happening is, if a thief is caught in any way, instead of beating you, you dance. So you would dance. All those your skills that maybe you don't have. You produce that. Yes, that day. So there's this particular guy that he actually stole something in this particular community. I think he's in Lagos. And what they did, they actually barbed his hair. Even though, of course, we've talked about the fact that everybody knows that stealing is not good. But he's also a human being. And of course, we have the justice system, which oftentimes we'll talk about that. Instead of making him to dance, even though some people are saying, that's the best thing to do, he's lucky, he's not lucky, he's a thief. And just making him dance doesn't solve the problem. The justice should be done diligently, in the sense that giving this particular thief to the authority. He should serve the punishment. What did he steal? Because tell me, if you steal, maybe you stole my phone and maybe you were being caught, and then people around me, okay, so instead of taking him to the authority, you make him dance. No, you will not dance. You go to that authority. You have family members, so if you don't have, you produce in that cell. Anywhere my money will come, that you get my phone, or if you have the phone, you produce that phone. So let's hear your thoughts about that, Solomon.
Before, I used to have this detached, I don't know why I like going back to proverb. Maybe proverb has a way, African proverb has a way of putting things into perspective, more clearer and more with a deeper sense than you would describe it. There's a proverb that says, every cup is a log of wood until your family member is carried in that same cup. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I think you need to.
Yes, so you may say a dead body, this is a dead body. You may not have any empathy towards it until maybe a family member dies. I don't know if you've lost anybody that's close. There's this. So I used to have like this detached response to people that are native now until I was robbed. There's a couple that is there's a content creator couple online now. That guy is blind. So they do content around blindness at their day-to-day activity. Can I tell you, Khadija, that this guy was not born blind?
Wow.
This blindness occurred not up to 3 years. He was an Uber driver.
Wow.
He was driving and he carried some assailants, some thugs, in a bid to snatch his, what is it called? Car.
Oh my God.
I think he was shot or he was attacked, and he went visually impaired in his two eyes, and that was it. Look at that bright young guy, his future shattered. This is the impact of a thief in our community. Secondly, I've talked about their impact.
Yes.
Secondly, what are the things aiding and abetting these things? This whole celebration of wealth without substance. If you are asked, Khadija, what do you do? I mean, there are too many evidences on the TV to show for it. You don't even need just to go and watch S24 channel. You will know what I do. So you can trace your source of income to it. But you see a young guy who doesn't have any visible source of income that is known to anybody, want to drive a car. I'm sure the guys who caused that guy to go blind I don't know if they have been caught, but if they went away with it, they'll be driving that car and people start celebrating them.
Yes.
These are the culture that are aiding and abetting this. So for the dancing, I love the fact that they're making him dance because it's a show of shame. Because they didn't treat him completely naked. He's still in his briefs.
Yes.
He's dancing and they're making Jeff touching direct.
And I think they even bob half
a
of
very
his hair
funny
too.
hair.
Yes.
That is just a sign of humiliation that this thing is sacrilege. If you watch all those on Nollywood, they say this sacrilege, abomination.
Yeah.
We should bring back that culture of shame. Anything that is not an acceptable behavior within the ambit of the law, within the ambit of the society, let's learn to shame it. When you start doing that, you serve as deterrent to people that are coming behind that this is not the path to toe in your life. Then the part where we must be concerned and be very careful will be, how does it not go overboard to people losing their life?
Yes.
So you must then involve authorities. Don't take laws into your hand, because if this person dies in the process, everybody is still innocent on their proven guilty.
That's right. So Solomon, let's touch some light. Of course, you've already given us like most of these solutions, and you've talked about the impact too. So for the whole thing of making this thief to dance and everything now, if I may ask you, if mistakenly you caught any thief, what are you going to do to that particular thief?
Honestly, from my experience, because emotions sometimes can make you misbehave, the best thing I will just do in this regard is to involve the authority. Because anger sometimes, because the things I lost to a thief, I lost my original certificate, my wife's certificate to a thief. They took it along my laptop and the bag got missing. So, but if I see people around, I want to give them a show of shame, I will support it. Do you know why I'll support it? God forbid you have a younger sister and come and say, this person I want to get married to. And I'm like, let's check the person. Deals now come back to digital footprint. They don't check the history. They don't saw him 5 years ago. That's we still advise our sister to go
No,
ahead.
not at all. But if you look at the difference, like then, if you notice, if a thief is being caught, you notice that the way they used to, the jungle justice a thief usually used to get, and now is totally different. So I think maybe people are now saying, instead of we to give him the let's just do the treatment of, we should just have fun with them instead of just pitying them. Sometimes you see a thief that will tie a thief with transformer using razor too. So that's actually inhumane when it comes to that aspect. And of course, now it's just to make them dance. But actually, joke aside, incident like this also raises question about how we treat people accused of crimes, public humiliation, and also become viral content. Just I think just proper legal processes that still matter, right? So yes, the social media message is actually clear. Don't actually steal this year. Unless if you have those skills. Unless if you have those skills to dance, actually. So in one sentence, Solomon, let's wrap up. What can you say to people out there?
Okay. For our dear barrister, Nyosom Wike, continue the good job, but please do it in the appropriate way.
Yes.
For our dancing thief, like Khadija said, ensure you desist or you continue to dance. So I said, go and learn from the late Michael Jackson.
See, yes. So we have a break dance. And that's a wrap on today's top trend, from Maitama demolition to bandit recruitment. And of course, the dancing suspect. These stories are definitely giving Nigerians something to talk about. And just tell us which one actually caught your attention the most on our comment section. And stay with us on Morning Digest for more stories conversation, and everything trending. For now, bye for now.
So today, I'll be asking my colleagues what unhealthy lifestyle they think are common among young people today. So join me.
They lack patience. They are too eager to make quick money, which is not supposed to be. In as much as we all like money, but still, there's a process to it. So we all need to be patient and learn to follow the process.
I would say substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, smoking, and vaping. All of these would actually deteriorate your health habits, and it will also affect your lungs, your mental health.
We procrastinate a lot and hardly ever get anything done.
I would say too much screen time and lack of patience. So we live in a generation where the internet has made things like social media possible, and information has become easily accessible to we, the youth. We tend to see a lot of things online, a lot of lifestyle, which we tend to copy.
Lack of rest, stress. Even for the 8 hours you're still supposed to rest, you still take walks from the day, put it into the night, and by the end of the day, you get like little to no sleep, and it affects you greatly. You might not know, but one day your body might shut down, and that is a great deal. So you should rest more.
Cheating. Because why are you having multiple sexual partners?
We don't exercise as often as we should. Exercise is a very underrated thing and is actually essential. So exercise more often, do it for the future you.
Too much time on screen is one of the unhealthy habits practiced by young people today. So we cannot continue to spend too much time on screen, pressing our phone, scrolling through social media, even if you're working at work, at home, in the night, you don't sleep early, you're pressing phone, spending too much time on screen. It affects your sight, and everybody cannot start to use glasses.
Spending beyond their means to impress others, like living a fake life just to oppress others, doing illegal activity or illegal things just to make sure they have fundings to oppress others, which is the fake life.
Inadequate sleeping culture. I feel so many young people today don't sleep enough, we don't rest enough, and it's very bad because most times when young people turn up for work, they are already exhausted because they were not able to sleep properly.
So today, I'll be asking my colleagues what unhealthy lifestyle they think are common among young people today. So join me.
They lack patience. They are too eager to make quick money, which is not supposed to be. In as much as we all like money, but still, there's a process to it. So we all need to be patient and learn to follow the process.
I would say substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, smoking, and vaping. All of these would actually deteriorate your health habits, and it will also affect your lungs, your mental health.
We procrastinate a lot and hardly ever get anything done.
I would say too much screen time and lack of patience. So we live in a generation where the internet has made things like social media possible, and information has become easily accessible to we, the youth. We tend to see a lot of things online, a lot of lifestyle, which we tend to copy.
Lack of rest, stress. Even for the 8 hours you're still supposed to rest, you still take walks from the day, put it into the night, and by the end of the day, you get like little to no sleep, and it affects you greatly. You might not know, but one day your body might shut down, and that is a great deal. So you should rest more.
Cheating. Because why are you having multiple sexual partners?
We don't exercise as often as we should. Exercise is a very underrated thing and
is actually essential. So exercise more often, do it for the future you.
Too much time on screen is one of the unhealthy habits practiced by young people today. So we cannot continue to spend too much time on screen, pressing our phone, scrolling through social media, even if you're working at work, at home, in the night, you don't sleep early, you're pressing phone, spending too much time on screen. It affects your sight, and everybody cannot start to use glasses.
Spending beyond their means to impress others, like living a fake life just to oppress others, doing illegal activity or illegal things just to make sure they have fundings to oppress others, which is the fake life.
Inadequate sleeping culture. I feel so many young people today don't sleep enough. We don't rest enough, and it's very bad because most times when young people turn up for work, they are already exhausted because they were not able to sleep properly.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Sport Desk, where we look beyond the headlines to understand the stories, decisions, and moments shaping the world of sports. I'm your host, Udokan Godspa. We have three big conversations on the decks this morning. We begin in Madrid, where Julian Alvarez is set to stay at Atletico, but after all the speculation surrounding his future, is this saga really over? Then we turn to Manchester United and Michael Carrick. With the club making moves in the transfer market, has United actually done enough to give Carrick the squad he needs? And finally, we come home to Nigeria, where Justin Madugu has been sacked as Super Falcons coach. But is changing the coach really the answer, or are there deeper problems within Nigerian football? Three stories, three very different situations, but one thing connects them: big decisions with big consequences. Joining me on the decks this morning are my colleagues Stephen and Olawale. But before we greet, let's quickly go on a break. We'll be back.
Hi, Didi.
Hi, Shiki.
Okay, so what is working with me like?
I'll say he's easygoing because like you're someone who is teachable. So anyone that is teachable would everybody would love working with that person. Okay, my turn. So Shiki, tell me why do you like working with me?
You made a point that I'm teachable, but like you are like the first person that took to mentoring me. You took to mentoring me, and you take a lot of questions. You entertain a lot of questions. You don't get tired.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Gladys.
Hi, Cedrica.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
I just get to know, what does working with me feels like?
I would say you do things exceptionally well. You set your mind to things and you make sure it comes out well. You put your mind. And one thing I love about you is that you make sure whatever you're doing, you are giving it your best. You're making sure that thing goes well.
Oh, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how do you feel working with me?
Gladys, working with you is actually interesting. Like you're the kind of person that brings life to whatsoever you do.
Wow.
You make sure that you always ensure that everybody have fun while they work. Your space is not boring and it's not toxic.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, Auntie.
Hello, Abakar.
How are you?
I'm fine. Obviously, I'm fine.
So, what can you say about working with me?
Well, working with you is actually very educational because at every point you like to teach, you like to make impact. And I like that mostly about you.
Thank you so much.
How is it like working with me?
Well, I so much cherish you being in the company of elderly people. I believe with your age and with our youthful exuberance, we are going to push S24 forward.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Ola and Stephen, good morning. It's good to have you guys here.
Yeah, good morning. It's good to be back.
Steven.
Good morning. It's good to be back.
Ola, did you miss the show when you were away?
Yeah, definitely. But I was always following you live and sometimes in
So you
spirit.
were impressed by what you saw?
Yeah, you guys did good.
Okay, so now that you are back, you are here to give us that ginger and that fresh analysis from your own end, right?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Awesome. Okay.
It's good to have you back, oh.
All right, let's just quickly go for a break before we continue our conversation. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Sport Desk, the show where we go beyond the headlines to understand the stories, decisions, and moments shaping the world of sport. I am Udokan Godspar. We have three big conversations on the decks this morning. We begin in Madrid, where Julian Alvarez is set to stay at Atletico. But after all the speculation surrounding his future, is this saga really over? Then we turn to Manchester United and Michael Carrick, with the club making moves in the transfer market. Has United actually done enough to give Carrick the squad he needs? And finally, we come back home to Nigeria, where Justin Madugu has been sacked as Super Falcons coach. But is changing the coach really the answer, or are there deeper problems within Nigerian football? Three stories, three very different situations, but one thing connects them: big decisions with big consequences. Joining me on the decks this morning are my colleagues, Steven and Olawale. Good morning, guys. How are we doing this morning?
Good morning, Gospel. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Welcome back, Ola. Welcome back, Steven.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Gospel. Good morning, Wale. It's good to be here.
Ola, did you miss the show when you were away?
Yeah, I did. But while I missed the show, I was watching you guys, and then I was following in spirit too.
Awesome. It's good to have you back. It's good to have the way you do your analysis and everything you do back on the show. Let's just quickly dive right into our story for today. Our first conversation would be around Julian Alvarez, the Argentine striker. He's an impressive player overall. Came into the limelight at Man City in 2022, eventually made a move to Atletico Madrid, where he currently is. Let me just hear your quick opinion about the player himself and the career he has had.
Alvarez is one of the players in modern day football that is so lucky. in terms
So
of what,
lucky?
yes, in terms of what is achieved.
Okay.
I mean, just recently, with his move to Atletico Madrid in 2024, that he became a very significant player. He has always been a bit part player.
At Man City.
Yes, at Man City because of Erling Haaland.
Yes.
And regardless of that, he has won everything in club football, like major trophies. He's won the Champions League, he's won the Premier League, he's won World Cup, he's won Copa America. He's achieved a lot. And big ups to him. But, you know, players always get themselves into some particular tricky situations. And I think that's what we are up to discuss today.
Yes.
He's a very interesting player for me, Julian Alvarez. I've watched him from River Plate to Man City, now at Atletico Madrid. He's incredible. He's a player that is young and has so much talent. Even his contribution at the recently concluded World Cup was very, very intriguing.
Really impressed. He only had one goal at the just
The
concluded
goal was
World
not
Cup.
even what I'm just going to say. His impact on the pitch was
Well,
also
for Alvarez, he's more like an overall attacker. Sometimes he doesn't get the goals. You know, last season he had a brief goal drought, and then he came back. But even without the goals, you see his contribution with his
to
assist, his play, the way he connects, attack, and all of that. So he's a player that is not only about the goals. He's a complete attacker.
Okay, so there's something that has made us to bring him on the show today, or to have this discussion about him on the show today. Let's just start with a little background. Last season was exceptional for him. At Atletico Madrid, he made 49 appearances for the club, had 30 goals contribution, I think 20 goals, 10 assists. At the end of the season, we saw he came out to say he wanted to leave the club with interest from FC Barcelona. The club were adamant that he has to respect his contract and were not willing to let him go. Just yesterday, their coach came out to say that it has been decided and concluded that he stays. I mean, first and foremost, what do you make of such behaviors from a player? Do you think he has done enough in world football to have that kind of authority to demand a transfer out of a club that, I mean, they went through a lot to sign him for Man City? Do you think he has that kind of?
No, I don't. He has not achieved much for Atletico Madrid. And in 2024, when he signed a 6-year contract. And contracts, as you know, are legally binded. Yes. And particularly, his contract had a release clause, 500 million euros. So we need to ask questions from the player side and then the agents, because they saw the contracts, they saw the clauses, and now he wants to leave. So it's very fine for a player to leave when he's attracting interest from maybe a club that he has interest in. Yeah. But it is not fine for you to have that kind of clause and expect the team to go below the agreement or to go against the agreement that was made in the first place. So if the interested party that wants to sign him cannot meet the release clause, at least there should be negotiations towards reaching a transfer agreement that is close to that release clause. And we are talking about the interested party who is currently broke now. Yes, FC Barcelona is a broke team.
Presumably, because they say on paper, or they come out to say they are broke. Meanwhile, they are making signings of 70 million.
Yeah, we are talking about a player, a club that intentionally makes decisions to go against clauses with other transfer. We've seen it with Lewandowski before he left, where there was a contract that if he reached a particular numbers of goals, there's a payment that would have been made to the team that he was signed from. But you see them intentionally benching him so that they do not activate that clauses. So FC Barcelona is broke. We've seen that.
Steven is smiling. What's your take on this situation?
For me, Julian Alvarez, being an interesting player, and he's a player that people are looking up to at this point, because
you seem to like him a lot.
No, he's a young talent. I saw him at Man City, but even though he didn't really.
Why wouldn't he like him? I mean, Real Madrid plays for 150 million euros bid. They wanted to steal the player from.
Wait,
go on.
Let's
he had a very impressive. He didn't really play much for Man City. Pep Guardiola already has his almighty Haaland, so we were not able to see much of his potential. Even though he won the FA Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League with Man City, we're not able to see much of him in Man City. But coming to Atletico Madrid, we've not really seen much of him, but we've seen more of his contributions to the
Really,
team.
he has made over 100 appearances for Atletico with
But, you know,
49 goals or so. So
that's not really much of it. How many trophies have they won with Atletico Madrid?
in terms of the trophies, yeah, but in terms
He
of
doesn't really have
appearance, I think we've seen.
So going to Barcelona is a no-no for me. He won't have even achieved what he was going to achieve there because Barcelona still has talents inside that team, and that might not really bring him up as a starter.
Really, they were losing. I think they lost Lewandowski this
Yes,
season. They've lost Ferran Torres. So I think
it's
he
going
would
to
have
be.
gotten it.
It's really going to be a formidable signing for Barcelona.
They signed
For me.
Adeyemi.
Okay.
Yes, for me, Adeyemi plays from the left side, or sometimes he plays from the right side, so he's versatile. But we are talking about a player that has to fill the number 9 role.
So for you, it would have been an affordable,
Yes,
a strong
yes.
player for Barca.
Yes.
Steven, you disagree with that?
Atletico Madrid, that's why Atletico Madrid are not ready to sell.
Okay.
They know his impact to them. So losing a player like Alvarez is going to be a minus for Atletico
I mean, for
Madrid.
Barcelona, was it going to be very important?
It
in
should
your
have been
opinion?
important, but at the same time, a team like Barcelona will always, they can have Alvarez and then they might have someone else that they are using instead of Alvarez.
As we speak now, Barcelona does not have a player that is capable of filling the number 9 position. Presently, as it is now, Barcelona is still in search of a number 9 in the transfer market. So signing Alvarez would have been a fantastic signing for them. Alvarez is the kind of player that fits the Barcelona style. Everybody has always known that, and he has always shown interest in Barcelona. So now the only problem that is making the deal not going through is because that situation that involves a very huge sum of money that Barcelona cannot afford even in the next 5 years.
Should I tell you something? If you remember back when Barcelona wanted to sign Nico Williams.
Okay.
And then there was all rumors around, and then he shanked them and he went to Athletic Club.
Do you know that there's a financial undertone to that? Because the money that Nico Williams is being paid in Atletico Bilbao is more than what Barcelona could offer him. So that's another financial incentive. And modern day football now, most of these players with exceptional talents, they are really interested about what gets into their pockets at the end of the day. Look at the players that are making their moves to Saudi Pro League. You cannot tell me that modern day European top 5 league players would willingly want to go and play in Saudi Arabia out of passion. Money is a huge factor in this. They're not playing for the passion again.
So now we now have players with less passion, more money.
Yes. Look at Rangers from Man City. He signed, was it not last season? Just played a year in Manchester City. He won trophies, and then he's figured that he's not going to be a significant player. And now he's making his move to Saudi. In 5 years, he's going to be paid 100 million euros. In 5 years. For a player that is not even top 10 in his position in Europe.
So
how many players are getting that in 5 years?
Let's just come back to our conversation. We've seen how Atletico handled the case. They stood their ground, insisting that they were not going to sell.
Yeah, I'm in support of that.
That was my question.
Yes. You should know what you're getting into, and you should be able to abide by it. If there should be any kind of resolution, at least you should be from Barcelona, not the player forcing move.
Honestly, I have called if Atletico Madrid actually eventually sold him to Barcelona, I would have labeled them as senseless because it makes me remember Dortmund when Dortmund were signing all their key players to Bayern Munich. When they signed Lewandowski from Dortmund to Bayern Munich. Imagine signing your main players to your rival club. And in the sense, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona are the 3 top La Liga teams.
But sometimes you are powerless from the club side. But let's assume that Alvarez had a decent release clause that is reasonable. The move would have been powerless. Yes.
Do you think you have gone as a free agent?
They are not going to allow the situation to get there.
It's a 6 years contract.
But it's a 6 years contract. But this is it. When a player has a release clause, and a club meets or triggers that release clause, then the next thing that automatically happens is negotiation between the interested party and the player. Once personal terms is being agreed, it happens swiftly. Let us take Manchester United signing of Telemans, for example. Everybody knows that in today's market, you cannot get a player of that quality for 35 million euros. And Manchester United did that just because the player had a release clause. So if Alvarez had a nice release clause that is much lower, it should have happened.
Let me just quickly ask this question. Alvarez, obviously, he's going to be unhappy at the club. Do you think Atletico can still get the best out of him?
Yeah, they will. After the transfer ends, after the transfer market closes, he's going to come back. Yeah, definitely.
His best.
He has a lot of impact to make in Atletico Madrid. Okay. Atletico Madrid also has talent. They have the likes of Ademola Lookman, who they just switched from number 22 to number 11. What's the new signing they made now? Atletico Madrid made a new signing that made Ademola Lookman switch number. They made a new signing. That was why they have a new player there that's going to also add impact to the team. So I want us to say, let's look forward to Atletico Madrid. They will also obviously have a lot of potential. We've seen them going to the semi-finals.
Romero.
Okay, Romero. So now, we've seen them go to see them go bands on bands with Real Madrid in the finals of the Champions League. So Diego Simeone is a great coach, and he has every right to lead Atletico Madrid to that distance. So let us look forward to Alvarez. He's going to bring out the talent in Alvarez. Alvarez is a very talented
Hopefully
player.
we get to see Alvarez perform very well this season despite what has happened. Let's quickly go for a break before we continue. The conversation continues right after this break. I think we have 15 minutes. Welcome back from that break. If you are just joining us, this has been Sport Decks on S24 Morning Digest. I've been having an interesting with my colleagues right here in the studio. We just dive right back in so you continue to enjoy the debate. Stephen and Ola, we are back. Let's quickly move on to our next conversation for the day as we are quickly running out of time. It's about Manchester United, Ola. Our club. Stevie. Okay. But a quick one before we dive into the question. We saw what happened last season from Ruben Amorim being sacked to Michael Carrick's appointment. We could say we had an impressive season last year.
Let me cut you short. The beginning of your season to like close to the ending of the season.
Okay, but towards the end of the season.
Towards the ending of the season to the end of the season.
Okay.
But you guys did a great one. For you guys to move from that position to the third of the league.
Okay, we lost some key players at the end of the season, most especially Casemiro. And we've seen the business we've had in the transfer market so far. We've signed Andres Santos, Talisman, a goalkeeper also, and all of that. But more recently, Michael Carrick came out after the preseason game against AC Milan, pointing to the fact that he still thinks we require more signing. With what you've seen, with the signings we've made, do you think Michael Carrick's point is actually true?
Yeah, Michael Carrick is very, very valid. He's very, very on point. Now, if you look at Manchester United team, and you made mention of a point that Casemiro left. Has Casemiro been replaced? Do we have an experienced defensive midfielder right now in the squad? The answer is no.
We do have a midfielder.
Yeah, and the midfielder. The only natural defensive midfielder that we have is Emmanuel Ugarte.
Andres Santos.
No. Andres Santos is a central midfielder.
Okay.
He's a central midfielder. So right now we don't have a natural defensive midfielder, and that's the problem. We need somebody to come and fill in that void. We don't have a natural left back. Right now,
Luke
Shaw should not be playing for Manchester United in 2026.
No, he was impressive last season.
He was impressive, but is he up to standard? I don't want to listen to him now. Wait. Luke Shaw should not be in Manchester United right now. In terms of if you have a left back in Manchester United that cannot represent his team in the World Cup. That's not Manchester United standard.
God's power.
No, when it comes to Manchester United, I have to let it out.
I think
now we have
Olawale needs to go and coach
we have two
Manchester United
central,
at this point.
yes, we have two central defenders who are mostly not to be seen during the season.
They are injury
We are,
prone,
yes,
right?
injury prone. We have somebody like Delight. Delight is always injured. We have somebody like
Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez,
Yeah.
who you know is a fantastic player, but most time he injures himself. Now we have Maguire, who sometimes even go on injury, and then I expected that we should have signed somebody for the defensive midfield role now. So if Carrick is coming out, that's an indication that he knows that we need more signings.
Let's just quickly hear from Steven.
Who do you think is the player that is going to represent, that is going to take over from Casemiro? Look at the transfer market, and who do you think can replace Casemiro?
Well, I was expecting that Manchester United was going to hijack this deal, this Arsenal signing Bruno Guimaraes. Or if they couldn't do that, there's Carlos Baleba there from Brighton. And they've been rumors recently that Manchester United could be making a late move for him. But we need a natural destroyer in that team.
Let me make one point clear. You know, if there's no a replacement for Casemiro, it's going to cause a lot of issues on your midfield.
Yes, definitely. That's why Carrick is complaining.
Bruno Fernandes cannot stick this thing in that's your midfield. And you guys, you know, the transfer window is going to close. It's coming to an end very soon.
Very soon, yes.
They have to make decision. If not, we're going to look at a worse season for me.
No, we can't have a worse season. Take it from me. Michael Carrick has already raised the bar. But now we need to improve on what we've done last season. Prediction sites and bookies are backing Manchester United as the second favorite team to win the
Premier
league.
this
Yes,
season.
after Arsenal.
Interesting.
And that's an indication of the quality that we have presently. But there are certain positions that we need to strengthen. And if we can do that, we cannot have bigger expectations.
But you just made mention of the quality we have. Don't you think that quality is enough for us to compete in the Premier League?
It's
and
not enough,
possibly go towards the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League without additional
the
signings?
quality is not enough. If we are going to meet other European giants, we need a lot of work rates. Right now, Manchester United has Kobe Mino.
We have young stars
Yes,
and they work hard.
Yes, no, for the midfield, we have Kobe Mino and we have Talisman. If you look at their style of play, they don't have the kilometers to cover. They are not players that that can go from box to box.
Okay.
Yes, so they are not players that are relatively athletic. So we need somebody that can fill that void. If you look at every impressive team, there's always look at Chelsea now. They have Casado and then they have
Let's quickly
Enzo.
hear from Steven. Steven has something to say.
Man U has this saying of back and forth.
In respect to what?
They can be impressive at this point, and then
just like Real Madrid too.
Yes.
Just like Real Madrid too last season.
For the past 3 seasons, not even last season.
Okay. I take that one. But then, if nothing is done in the replacement of Casemiro, you guys will have a lot of lapses this season.
Yes, I agree to that. And that's why we are pleading to Ineos and the Glazers to back Michael Carrick and get
I
this
see you guys
essential
coming
signings for
back
us.
to the Champions League after a long while. Damn. See you guys come
Long
back to
while,
the
it's just one season or 2 seasons.
after calling yourself champions of the European League or whatever you guys call yourself. Now see you guys come back to the Champions League. I'm impressed.
It's going to
But
be interesting.
if you guys come back to the Champions League and they flop in the Champions League, because Champions League is different now. It's not a league. It's not a league, this thing. If you guys flop there, I'll rage bait you guys.
I just
on
feel
this
like he's
table.
trying to undermine Manchester United.
I'm not undermining Manchester
And we
United.
have a lot of points to prove this season. So
Okay.
let's see what we can do.
Lot of points.
Let's see what happens. Hopefully, we get to see more signings coming to Manchester United, because it seems you both don't agree with the fact that we have the squad it takes to compete in all the competitions we'll be playing next season.
You have a good coach, no squad.
Well, we'll see how that develops in the coming days. Let's just quickly move on to our final conversation for the day. I mean, yesterday, the NFF came out with a statement announcing that they have sacked the Super Falcons coach, Justin Madugu, his assistant, and the entire backroom staff. I mean, first impression, hearing that.
They also launched a kangaroo committee to supposedly look into why they had a very poor campaign.